All right. Another jam-packed edition of QnColb. We're going to talk about the Browns. We're going to talk about the Chargers being hilarious. We're going to talk about the AFC North versus the NFC South. We're going to rank the AFC QBs, the NFC QBs. We're going to talk about who we want to get the number 1 and number 2 overall picks. And why are football fans so thirsty to get their coaches fired? All of that and more on QnColb. Roll the intro. All right. We got to talk about it. We always lead the show with our favorite team, the Cleveland Browns. Now, the good news is that this is why you won both of those games, right? The Pittsburgh and Baltimore games. So you could drop one like this because shit happens in the NFL. You drop a game, they drop one to the Broncos. That's good news. You 7-4 at the end of the day. That's kind of where we wanted to be at the start of this whole stretch when we got Deshaun back. It was like, hey, we get to 7-4 right here. We're good. So that's the good news. Bad news is we have no idea who will be playing next week. It could be business as usual. It could be a preseason game, bruh. Like, it could be either one of those two things. The crazy thing is, I've seen the Rams play football. I'm not saying the Rams are a bad team in the meaning of the Rams like aren't a good football team with talent. I do think that they are a very unfocused team. And they aren't the team that's like, oh yeah, the Browns limping into this game, they gonna kill them. Like if we was playing the Ravens, oh yeah, no shot.
Oh yeah,
no shot. They're too focused. They're way too focused of a team to let such a thing happen. The Rams are very unfocused. So, hey man, in a season where nothing but goofy stuff has happened, I would not be surprised if something goofy happened in that game. But the Browns had a lot of injuries. I thought there was some good in this game. I thought that just a lot of people had bad performances. I thought the coaches had bad performances. Didn't think it was a particularly strong game plan on either side of the ball, either be from Kevin or Jim Schwartz. Felt like they should have ran the ball more. Felt like they had to figure something out to get pressure because like the Broncos line can't be that good. It can't be that good to get absolutely. We got no sacks, no pressures from our defensive line. Only guy who touched Russell Wilson was JOK. So,
hey, shout out to JOK. He had a great game.
Balled, legitimately balled. And defensive line did not ball. Nobody balled. Nobody gets a chain. Y'all sucked. Okay. Just awful. And I get it, Miles was hurt, but Myles Garrett can't be the only thing on this defense. Like, what are we paying Zadarius Smith for? He's getting outperformed and outshined by Jadeveon Clowney, who we saw was ass here last year. Like, it's just a rough showing for that defensive line, but I'm sure they'll bounce back. I'm sure the coaches will be fine. The injuries are the one thing you're concerned about. I feel like if those injuries didn't happen, Cole, we would handle this loss a lot better because we're like, 7-4, we can just beat the Rams. We're fine. But now it's like, oh, okay, who are we going to have against the Rams is the question, right? And for the rest of the season.
We got to address it real quick. Got to address it. I am praying to Jesus and his heavenly Father that Myles Garrett does not have a significant injury. Because I'm telling you, Q, if Myles goes down, I'm not going to be able to handle it. I'm not gonna be able to handle it if Myles can't play, dog. We already down Nick. We lost Jack Conklin. Hell, man, we lost Jed. Deshaun's gone. If we lose Myles, I don't know, man. It's gonna get real depressing on this podcast, and I don't want us to get to the point. We've been having a good run, having a real good one. The last month, we've been having a real good run. I do not want us to come in here doing an emergency podcast, being depressed as hell because Myles is hurt. So let's just all hope that he's all right.
Yeah, man, Miles going hurt is like the Titanic sinking, right? Like, it's like, damn, dog, we built all of this stuff and it's gone. Like, all of it. Like, the Browns have been kind of this unsinkable team because it's like, at the end of the day, they have 3 franchise-level players that they really believe in, right? It's like, okay, you got Nick Chubb, you got Deshaun Watson, you know what it'd be like? It'd be like in 2015 when LeBron first came back to the Cavs. It's like, hey, yo, what happens if LeBron gets hurt during that playoff run too? Like, Like this team feels like the 2015 Cavs at times. Where I'm like, oh, Kevin went out. Now we ain't got Kyrie. All right, Bron. Then Bron got an ankle injury. It's like, come on, dog. Like, what? Come on, man. What more do you want? We out here playing Matthew Dellavedova serious minutes. Like, we started carrying on Christian 2 games, dog. That's how down we've been. We know who Pierre Strong is. That's how down we've been, dog. Not only do we know who Pierre Strong is, Colb, he has a hive. There's a Pierre Strong hive.
I have no idea.
Because of this madness.
Why does this man have a hive, bro? No disrespect to Pierre.
And after that bubble, he's got an anti-hive. There's an anti. This is where we're at. We started the season with Nick and Chubb. And we out here arguing about Pierre Strong carries. And the team is still 7-4.
I don't know why we argued about Pierre Strong carries. Hey, last time I saw Jerome Ford's carries in the game, it was like 6 carries for like 67 yards or something stupid. I was like, why?
He's clearly better. He's clearly the best running back on the team, man. It's like, it's him, and it is very select situations you put Kareem Hunt out there. But like, that's the only 2 that need to be out there playing. I don't know why you would choose on the end of round to give the ball to the least trustworthy person on the team. Just think about that end around. And I understand what Kevin was trying to do, right? And what you're trying to do, just because I understand it, don't mean I like it. But I understand. You got nobody left. You try to manufacture some offense. You've ran this trick play a couple times. It's gotten the looks that you've wanted it both times. Okay, maybe we can hit it for a big play right here when we really need it because DTR might be out for the rest of the game. And goddamn, all we need is 1 score, right? Like, all we need to do is get the ball in the end zone 1 time. We might be able to win this game. Okay, I understand that. I understand the play call. I don't understand not thinking about who's executing the play call because you gave the ball to the 2 most untrustworthy people with the football that you have on the roster, PJ Walker and Pierre Strong, and said, hey, let's toss the ball between the 2 of these guys who fumble routinely. Let's see what happens. And you know what happened? That happened. Not a great play call. Look, Kev had a ton of great play calls to get us to this moment. Okay, that was not his finest day. Okay, I'ma just throw that one under the rug, bro, because it was a bad one. That was a bad day. Did it cost you the game? No. I think DTR getting out cost you the game. Let's be real. We saw PJ Walker play. He wasn't winning shit. That was not a PJ Walker that was winning you anything. He was not prepared. Okay, he thought Joe Flacco was gonna be the backup. Like, I already know. You remember Mike Vick was on the podcast and he was like, "Yeah, one time I went into this game in Pittsburgh and keep it real. I did not think I was gonna play. Like, I had no clue what to do. And PJ, they caught your ass, right? Look, you don't fumble that much when you know what to do, right? Like, he didn't fumble that much when he was starting. Like,
hey, when they put the camera on Joe Flacco, you see what PJ was doing, right?
What?
He was over there cracking jokes.
Oh yeah, early in the game, cracking jokes. I thought this be you. You know what I mean? Like, all this laughing, all this joking. He like, nah, the Ricky got it. He's so much better than me. Ain't no way I'm playing this game.
As soon as I saw that, I was like, "Oh, he is absolutely not ready to play today." He's like, "Yeah, DTR got it. We good. I'm just chilling."
The whole team. To be fair, I don't feel like it was a focused week of practice from the team. Like, nah. I don't get that vibe that it was a very focused week for the team. The defense didn't look focused. The offense didn't look focused. PJ Walker looked like he didn't know what the game plan was. Like, it was one of them weeks. You know what I mean? Where shit get real and you didn't expect it to get real and now you got to deal with it. Like, it is 4 in the morning. Like, that's what it felt like. But yeah, 100%. I know for a fact because I know it when I see it. PJ didn't think there was a shot he was playing in that game.
You know what he looked like? You know what he looked like?
A man who thought he'd be inactive.
No, you know what he like? He looked like DTR in that first Ravens game. That's what he
Uh-huh. And you know what DTR said? I didn't study. He was like, I knew it was a test, but I didn't think I was supposed to take the test. Like, yeah, PJ Walker gave you one of those. Like, now I understand why PJ didn't come in for DTR during the Ravens game, because if that's what PJ looks like when he's not prepared, dog, he don't ever need to be in there. It's a miracle we won that Indy game in retrospect. All right. Because ain't no way he thought he was going to play. Or that tells you how shaky Deshaun looked in practice that week before the Indy game. If PJ was like, nah, let me study. Let me study. I might play, dog.
Man.
Because it was evident to me, PJ don't do the work, dog. Like,
Oh, you say he don't do the work?
not when he not starting. Not when he not starting, dog. That he played too much football this year to look like that. No. You ever watch a performance by players like, okay, every decision made with you starts to make sense. Right? This was one of those like, yeah. Like for Pierre Strong and PJ Walker, this was one of those like, I get why the people who made the decisions to get off of you have made those decisions. I also get why the people who made the decisions to get you made those decisions, right? Like PJ Walker, you can see it. Sometimes he'll make a couple great throws. You can turn on his XFL tape, be like, man, that's pretty impressive. And then you throw him in the middle of a game and he don't know the play call because he wasn't studying. And poor Kevin, like Kevin got the same. Kevin sometimes catches himself in these situations where he has the same expectations no matter who's up. And you can't argue it hasn't been successful because they are 7-4 right now. Partly because Kevin is like, nah, man, I'm going to expect you to step up. Like, that's what it's going to have to be. I'm not about to cater this down to nobody. But, dog, you got to make exceptions every once in a while. And once you saw PJ go in there that first drive, you had to look at yourself and be like, we running all game, dog. All game. I'm running the ball. I saw PJ drop back one time. I was like, oh, no, DTR needs to come back right now. I said this to you before the show started. Hey, man, we can't go back to that, dog. Like, I didn't understand how much better DTR was than that.
Can't do it. Can't do it. No offense, PJ. You my dog. You got some wins. I ain't think you was going to win. And I respect you. And I appreciate what you did for the Cleveland Browns this season. But, brother,
I need you to be inactive for the rest of the season, dog.
I'm going to stay on that sideline, dog. You got to stay on that sideline.
Hey, bro, I'm gonna need you never to play. Okay,
sorry, dog. I apologize. I do not. No disrespect. No disrespect, Teddy, bro.
Yeah, it is disrespect regardless. Because I'd rather see Joe Flacco.
Absolutely, rather see Joe Flacco. Absolutely,
I'd rather see Joe Flacco. Like, nah, he don't even ever be out there. Like,
we good.
We good on that, bro. You did what you had to do this season, PJ. It's time for that man to hit the inactive. Okay.
Okay. Appreciate you. Hey, you got your money, man. You got your money. You beat the 49ers, dog. You beat the 49ers.
You always have that.
You'll always have San Francisco. Always.
But you will not have the football. Not another time this season. No, absolutely not. We're not surviving that. Like But on the positive note, here's why this is why this game was so annoying. Because we was about to win it, dog. Like, the Broncos knew we was about to win this.
Talk about it.
We knew we was about to win this. We knew what was about to happen. The DTR got hurt, and then the wheels fell off. That's the thing that bugs me so much about some of the knee-jerk commentary at the end of this game. Like, acting like, oh, it was this or that. I'm like, we know what happened. We was about to win this shit despite playing a horrible game again. It was about to come back, do what we needed to do, but then PJ Walker came in, the wheels fell off the bus, right? Like the wheels just. PJ Walker came in, Miles got hurt, like poop went out, the wheels came off the bus. Like the second that dude, like I promise you, this is a reflection. In my opinion, I feel like this is a reflection of what everybody saw. They knew they had a shot with DTR. Because you saw how they was playing when DTR was in there. Still like, hey, we just got to keep this tight. The rookie going to get us. They have belief in him. PJ came in there.
See it, bro. You can literally see it. They came in and was like, well, you know, we said it before.
You ever see that Raphael Sadiq stand up where he talking about Mitchell, this ain't gonna be good, bruh. I can't explain the context to it because it's actually a really tragic story he's talking about in that joke. But this is what I saw PJ come in and I was like, this ain't gonna be good, brother. Like, this ain't gonna be good. I saw that man look over there and point to himself. I was like, oh, this ain't about to be good.
Oh, he did the Drewski? He did
like, who they about to put in? Jerome Ford? Yes. Like, I was like, this ain't gonna be good, dog. Like, I'm usually somebody who gives PJ Walker a little bit more slack than anybody else. I had the absolute feeling of knowing, nah, this ain't happening.
You knew it. As soon as he came in. Bro, as soon as he came in, they fumbled and they scored immediately after that. I was like, oh yeah, we're done. We lost.
It's raps. It's raps. And then he fumbled again. And then he fumbled again. And then he fumbled again. Like, nah. So the good news is that, hey, man, DTR, we have learned to appreciate him. Like, brother's really making some nice throws on time. He wasn't taking sacks. Like, he was balling, low key. Like, balling. There was a point, I think he took that hit because he was trying to do too much. Just throw the ball out of bounds. I think DTR is at the point now to where he needs to understand you ain't just some regular dude on the roster. Like, I don't care. Because sometimes when quarterbacks are out there, they stink. It don't matter. They get hurt. We didn't care if Case Keenum was out here running around taking hits. Who cares, right? Or anybody else, right? Jacoby Brissett run around taking. Ooh, boy, like it didn't matter. DTR is at the point where it's like, no, you matter, dog. Like, I'm gonna need you to hit them slides. I'm gonna need you to throw that ball out of. You are on Deshaun rules from now on, which is don't do that Deshaun did that got him on the sidelines unless you try to rehab with him in LA. Nah, you can't do that. You are Deshaun rules for the rest of the season, DTR. Because look, I don't know what Joe Flacco gonna look like if he has to play. I'm not confident. The brother's won 3 games in his last 17. Like, there's nothing that suggests that he's going to be good. Our best chance to do anything this year is with 17. Like, 4 can't come back. 24 can't come back. 17 got to stay healthy. He got it. Deshaun rules for him because we can't go back to PJ. We can't go back to somebody who could have been on a practice squad. Okay, we can't do that. Like,
this is what I'm going to say about DTR. Brother, you need to understand one thing going forward. You are not at UCLA anymore, dog. All that trying to move around, trying to get it. Yeah, that can work. That can work in, you know, the Pac-12. You know what I'm saying? You know, you playing some bad teams. That might work. That's not gonna work in the NFL, dog. They are going to kill you.
Well, here's the thing. It can work. You will get the throw off. As he got the throw off, he got the penalty. It's not that it can't work. He's a good enough athlete to do it. The punishment is much more severe in the NFL, right? Like, that is the problem. Like, it's not that he can't do it. Yeah, you can do it. The punishment is much more severe on this level.
Going back to my original point, you can't do that, dog. Because when he
like
got
you might be physically capable of doing it, but that was a welcome to the NFL moment for DTR. That was okay. He took that hit in the Pac-12, brushed that shit off, went down the field. He was good. Nah, I don't know who hit him, but they better than anybody in the Pac-12. Like,
dog, as soon as he got hit, you knew immediately. You see the whole bottom half of his face covered in blood, dog. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
bro, you can't do this because you just giving them a free opportunity to tee off on you. And what did he do? Knock you out the game, and they immediately won the game afterwards. That's what I'm saying. You can't do. You too important the rest of the season to put yourself in harm's way. Because if he finished that game, I actually think they had a decent chance of actually winning the game because he played well. But hey, man, don't let these dudes tee off on you. What you doing?
Yeah, you too good to be out here sacrificing yourself in one play, dog. Let that be PJ. Like PJ go out, don't nobody care.
Let Joe do it. Let Joe take that one.
Let who?
Let Joe take that one next time.
Joe Flacco? You know Joe Flacco ain't taking that hit. He's 38 years old. Joe Flacco getting rid of that ball. Like, here's what I fear with Joe Flacco. A lot of fast 3-and-outs. Because Joe Flacco's not going to play no games. He's not going to stand in there and try to throw this thing down the deep nine. He is good. It's either open or it's not immediately, and he's throwing that thing in the dirt. Like, we just going to get a ton of 3-and-outs in no time of possession with Joe Flacco in there. That's my fear with him. And that's why he don't win very many games anymore, right? Because Joe ain't trying to take them hits. Like, Joe never was trying to take them hits. Why did we forget that Joe Flacco was never good? Like, why did we forget this? Hold on. Ravens were about to become a dumpster fire riding him until they got Lamar. Like, it was literally their season was going into the dumps. They throw in Lamar, it's saved.
Let's not be disrespectful.
He had 8 good games.
He had his run. He had his run. Don't do that. Super Bowl MVP run. It wasn't like 18 touchdowns, no interceptions in the playoffs.
No, it was crazy.
Stupid.
It was crazy. Whatever was going around that locker room, he ain't never played like that ever in his life. That was 10 years ago. He ain't never played like that ever again. Baltimore was waited 4 years for him to play like that again. And it was like, you know what, dog? We'd rather, you know how much you got to be fed up with somebody to go from Joe Flacco to Lamar Jackson to even entertain such a change. Like, do you know how fed up you have to be? You know what was the precursor to that move in the NFL? Alex Smith to Colin Kaepernick. Yep. Okay? Another situation where they were just fed up. Like, just straight up fed up. You don't entertain such a change, such a radical change. And like Alex Smith and Colin Kaepernick's not that crazy. It's not. Let me make this clear. Alex Smith and Colin Kaepernick, not that much of a difference, right? They're both athletic quarterbacks who ran a little bit. Colin was much better athlete than Alex, but Alex could scoop, right? Like, I don't want to erase Alex Smith's athleticism because he was a decent athlete, but he was more of a game manager than what Kaepernick was. But Lamar Jackson, going from Joe Flacco to Lamar Jackson is insane. Ozzie Newsome was sick of it. He was sick of it, dog.
It sounded like he was sick of a couple things.
Entirely sick of it, dog. He was like, I'll take him. Okay? I'll take him, and I want the 5th-year option. Give me him. I got this, dog. That's all I'm saying about Joe Flacco, man. No disrespect to the dude. He put together a solid enough career. But people out here talking like Joe Flacco gonna do this and now, like he was never that. Why do you expect him to be that at 38? Like he wasn't this at 28.
You know why people expect that? Because the last good game he had in the NFL was against us.
Well, did he have a good game, or did Joe Woods just have some of the most horrible game plan, a game stretches that you've ever seen in your life? Like, really, was that more about Joe Flacco, or was that more about what we know it was more about? The Joe Woods defense.
Hey, four touchdowns, dog. I'm sorry.
I don't count them stats against Joe Woods, dog. Like, we know what was happening. They was giving up free touchdowns. Like, the Browns defense was Oprah Winfrey last year. Just, you get a touchdown. You get a comeback. You get a, nah. Joe ain't doing that, dog. That's one of Joe's 3 wins in the last 4 years, by the way. Like, I don't know about that. I don't know about that one.
Just another
I
reason Joe
am.
Woods is a criminal. Joe Woods is a criminal. I told
That
y'all.
he made it inside Joe Flacco.
Still committing crimes years later.
He is still haunting ourselves years later. All right, but that's the Browns game. You know what team I just find to be endlessly hilarious? It's our favorite, the Los Angeles Clippers, by way of San Diego. By the way, did the Clippers, weren't they in San Diego for a little bit?
They were in San Diego. I'm telling you,
They should just be the Clippers. Like, they should just, like, one team, both like a college team. You know what I mean? Like, are fighting Clippers and are shooting Clippers. Like, just be the Clippers. Embrace it. Y'all are the Clippers, because this is the most Clipper shit I've ever seen in the NFL. Like, Cole, I could not imagine you nailed one on the head quite like you've nailed the Chargers being the Clippers. Because we can't even call them the Timberwolves no more. The Timberwolves are good. Like,
they're extremely good, actually. Very, very good.
Ain't no Ant-Man on that team. They ain't got no Ant-Man. It's like, what if Karl Towns got his own team? That's what this is like right now, dog. Just endlessly hilarious.
Listen, bro. The comparison between the Chargers and the Clippers is so perfect. Because you know what people kept saying about the Chargers? People kept saying this about the Chargers for years. They're just so talented. How are they not winning more games? They're just so talented.
They got all these old names we recognize. Like, the Clippers got all 4 MVPs from like 2018. Like, they got James Harden. They got Kawhi.
Russell Westbrook, Paul George, and they be losing all the time.
They got the best 2K my team from like 2K16. Like,
look at the chart. Look at the Chargers. Justin Herbert. They had Joey Bosa, lost him. Khalil Mack, wide receiver, whose name I'm blanking on.
Keenan Allen.
Keenan Allen.
Oh, they even got Mike Williams. They drafted Quentin Johnson.
Austin Eckler. He's good.
Austin Eckler. Yeah, Rashad Slater.
Just be losing. Just be losing.
They got what? JC? Didn't they have JC Jackson? Or don't they still have him?
I think they had JC Jackson. I don't think they got him no more.
Yeah, they got
Derwin James.
Oh, yeah. Remember when Derwin James was taking over the league?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's gone now, right?
they're just bad. Like, they're just bad, dog. At some point, you gotta like shed the talented label and just tell the truth about what you see with your eyes, man. They're not good. They're just not good.
And they're making their quarterback a loser.
He's Paul George.
Like, yeah, like there's look, man, you don't want to get that loser stench on you. You could play bad, but you can't get that loser stench on you, because that stench will come off. And let me tell you right now, people starting to look at Justin Herbert and go, loser. Like, it don't matter what you do. Loser. Like, it's crazy. The only other guy I can think of that has this kind of reputation, and this just shows you how tough it is to be a Cowboy, is what, Dak? Dak has the same reputation for being a loser, where it's like,
yeah, he does.
Don't nobody care what you. Kirk Cousins has the same reputation for being a loser, but those is because of the lack of postseason success. Brother, you can't even win in the regular season right now. Like, this is crazy. Like,
bro, think about this. We've watched DTR lead a game-winning drive. We've watched PJ Walker lead a game-winning drive. And we've
watched all 3 of our quarterbacks.
3 different Browns quarterbacks lead a game-winning drive.
It's pretty like tough situations. Like, 2
on the tough situations.
And 1 versus the 49ers.
And 1 versus the Ravens.
Oh, yeah. On the road.
In Baltimore, where the Cleveland Browns never win. I don't know if people know that. We never win in Baltimore. Never.
Until we do.
Until we did.
Yeah.
Have we seen Justin Herbert lead a game-winning drive this season?
I would imagine there had to be 1, because it seems like every game is close, but like the percentages can't be great. Like,
no, they have the stat up during the game. Like, in 1-score games, they've lost, I think, now 8 straight or something like that. Some like, he getting
and this
mad,
goes back.
Not clutch, no clutch gene.
This goes back to what I wanted to go to in the offseason. Everybody made that comeback about Trevor Lawrence. I wanted to make it about the Clippers. because that had nothing to do. Like just the same way Josh Smith didn't change into a different player after he made all them threes versus the Clippers. That wasn't about the Jaguars, who are a decent team. That was so much about the Clippers. Like, I was like, oh God, y'all just stink, dog. Y'all just are losers, dog. Like, this is just what y'all do. Y'all losers. Like, nah. I don't care what happened in that game, how it broke down. Like, they always do this. Was there any doubt? They scored that touchdown, and I wasn't like, they might do it for us. They might help the Browns out. They might beat the Ravens. I was like, they doing that thing where it looks like they might win just so they can embarrass themselves. Like,
every comeback a fake comeback. Every comeback is a fake comeback.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is fraudulent, dog. Like, this is just real fraudulent stuff for the Chargers, for Brandon Staley. Just, I don't understand how he's still there. I was looking at Charger Twitter because I have a fascination with this team.
Mm-hmm.
They are in hell right now. I saw somebody say, hey, man, either the roster's bad or Brandon Staley's doing his best. I'm like, ain't no way you trying to hold on to Brandon Staley right now. Like, ain't no way.
Hey, we got to one day we got to do a power ranking of funniest NFL fan bases, because Chargers Twitter is absolutely going to be in the top 3. They are hilarious.
Well, it's a small bunch. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that many of them. So, like, all these opinions get the same weight. Like,
it's definitely Jets Twitter, Chargers Twitter. Jets Twitter is crazy. It's so funny, man. It's
no.
Funny.
You know who's a top tier Twitter? Eagles Twitter when something slightly goes wrong. Like, they don't even got to be losing. Like, just let something kind of go wrong. Like, Browns Twitter is like filtered Eagles Twitter. But Eagles Twitter is like all of the insanity that you see with Browns Twitter uncut. That shit is raw, pure, 100% Philadelphian cocaine that you get on there, dog. Like, that shit'll kill you. All right.
Aren't they like 10-1 or something stupid?
They're 10-1. They're 10-1. But whenever something goes wrong, their like Twitter, it turned into straight fentanyl over there, dog. Like, it's bad. It's bad.
I swear you would think the Eagles are like 4-7 if you just peek over at Eagles Twitter.
Hey, look, the Eagles are at the same time. Eagles Twitter is at the same time ruthlessly critical of their own team while also being ruthlessly angry at anybody who chooses to be critical of that team. Like, it is a fascinating combination.
I respect it. I can talk shit about my team. You can't talk shit about my team.
Hey, look, shout out to my barber. Every time I get my hair cut, my homeboy spent like 30 minutes talking about, yeah, man, he a bird. Fuck him. He goofy. All of this because he from Philly. He an Eagle fan. I was like, yeah. He showed me all of his ops on YouTube.
His ops?
Yes. He don't, man. Eagle fans, look, top flight. They booed Santa Claus. All right. Like, you think your fan base is hard? Nah, they booed Santa Claus and then it just boo him, threw shit at him. Okay. Like, again, Cleveland is a pretty crazy fan base. That's that uncut, raw, 100% pure insanity that they got over there in Philly, dog. Like,
to be fair,
our shit regulated over here. You know what I mean?
We threw stuff at people. We threw stuff at refs and stuff before, though. We did that.
Yeah, but we had a reason. Like, it was a bad call, so we threw some bottles on the field or whatever, right? And that's why we're not that dissimilar to Philadelphia. They just threw stuff at Santa because, like, why not? That's the difference, dog. That's the difference.
Oh, man.
They were so ready to get Carson Wentz out of there after he won an MVP. Like, look, man, Donovan McNabb don't got no, hey, I come back to Philly to celebrate the good times. No, he don't do none of that shit. Like, if Donovan McNabb played in Cleveland, he would come back to Cleveland all the time to celebrate the good times because we'd be like, yeah, I forgive you, Donovan, for messing up. Nah, Eagle fans are still like, you should have threw the T.O. more.
And they're right. To be fair, they're right.
Like, you ruined it. You, Donovan. Like, nah, like that's how crazy it is. Donovan can't even get the man. I was the Eagle. Like he can't get that. They don't want to give him that. They mad at him for playing for Washington the last year of his career. It's different. It's different out there. That is a different fan base. Shout out to them. Charger fans are hilarious. But honestly, I don't blame Charger fans for their spaces being hilarious. It's not your fault. Your team is just comedy. Like, it's just, the Chargers are
It's
hilarious.
bad. It's bad. I'm sorry. Coming from a Browns fan, I know that sounds kind of crazy, but it's bad, dog.
Nah, man,
because y'all got quarterbacks. You know what makes it different? You know what makes it different? The Browns have been bad because we just never had a quarterback that was worth a damn. You know what I'm saying? At least for the
if
majority
we
of the
had
team
Phillip Rivers, we would not be this, right?
No, we wouldn't.
But like, y'all have Phillip Rivers and they got Justin Herbert and y'all still this.
That's what make it funny, bro. Like, you got a great quarterback. You turn
There's
him
no
into
hope.
a loser.
There's no hope. You just stink. Like, there's no hope. There's no hope. Browns out here 7-4 with 3 different quarterbacks. Might have 4. You can't get the 4-7. You 4-7. Which if the Browns had Justin Herbert, we'd be in the Super Bowl.
Oh,
Like,
easy.
It's 2 different worlds, man. It's 2 different worlds. Like, we Browns fans like to complain like we got the worst. I promise you, we don't. Like, there are fan bases out here who have it much, much worse. Speaking of fan bases out here who have it much worse, do you realize, Cole, that the Bengals would be in first place in the NFC South right now?
Man.
And probably favored to win it without Joe Burrow, because I'm not convinced that Jake Browning is not one of the better 2 quarterbacks in that division.
Some people got all the luck, bro. Some people got all the luck. Wish the Browns was in the NFC South.
we be ready to bench starters. Like, it don't even matter if we play Miles for the rest of the year. We got 7. That's gonna be enough. Like,
hey, we got 7. We gonna get 4 more. I'm telling you, we gonna get 4 more.
I was say, yeah, we played the Panthers.
It's 2 free wins, dog. We all right.
That's crazy. Yeah. Let's look at the NFC South real quick, because I know you said that you think the Saints are going to win this. They are currently no longer in first place. They currently lost 2 games, 1 to Josh Dobbs.
Shout out Josh Dobbs.
Who we saw what it looked like when we watched the full game of Josh Dobbs. And look, when you watch the highlights, Josh Dobbs looks dope. When you watch the games, you are like, hey, man, this ain't going to last. But you lost to Josh Dobbs. And even worse, dog, you lost to Desmond Ridder, who was trying to give you the game.
Let's talk about something. If you lose to Desmond Ridder, you gotta scrap the whole team, dog. We gotta make major changes if we out here losing to Desmond Ridder. That's just not acceptable. That's not acceptable under any circumstances, dog. I'm sorry. He's so bad. I am pretty sure every quarterback on the Cleveland Browns roster is better than Desmond Ridder. I'm pretty sure all of them are better. DTR for sure is better, 100%.
They lost to a team. Look, let's keep it real. The Falcons weren't interested in throwing the ball. They threw the ball 21 times, made 13 completions. The brother had 1 touchdown. Okay, 2 interceptions.
How is that possible?
In 13 completions.
How is that possible?
Quarterback rating of 35. like just not good. But they got Bijan. You know what I mean? Maybe they didn't lose to Desmond Ridder. Let's be fair. They lost to
Bijan Robinson.
Yeah, they lost to Bijan, Algier, and Cordell Patterson. Because they had 228 yards on the ground. Another guy we need to talk about who stinks. Derek Carr.
Yeah, man, that's over.
He stinks.
That's over. He's good.
Look, we're gonna do our rankings. I feel like I'm not settled on where I put him at in the pregame rankings, but he stinks.
You know how we gave Baker the wide receiver killer label? Derek Carr officially has that label now. We've taken that off Baker. We're putting that on Derek Carr.
Well, to be fair, he threw the ball just strictly to Chris Olave, and Olave did go off. 7 receptions, 114 yards. But Derek Carr had a QBR of 25.
Which was worse than Desmond Ridder.
Yes, 10 points worse. Significantly worse.
Ooh.
My homeboy Trey Shad on Twitter was arguing with Saints fan because he's a Falcon fan. It was like, you got Desmond Ridder. He's like, brother, you paid $100 million for Desmond Ridder.
Hey, that would make me want to fight you. I'm like, oh, you know, coming back from that.
Shout out to the homie Trey, man.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Because he's absolutely right.
You respond to that.
Honestly,
you gotta be like, damn.
Desmond Ridder is a better athlete. Like,
Oh man.
Yeah, man, it's starting to come off on Derek Carr. I don't know what it was, but hey, the Raiders didn't get everything wrong because I don't think they miss him. Like, it is not like they've had good quarterback play. It's just like, he sucks. We suck. We was gonna suck anyways. Now we suck for less money. But yeah, man, terrible. They're not good. None of these teams are good, man. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers lost to the Colts, so they're now 4-7. Who won in this division, dog?
I said the Saints.
Nah, I don't. I think the Saints are. I think the Saints just stink. They're bad.
It's got to be the Falcons, right? It's got to be the Falcons, right?
I can't trust the Falcons.
What team in this division can you trust?
That's what I'm saying. There's nobody. Look, what you gonna trust? Derek Carr and the Saints right now, or you gonna trust the Falcons, or are you gonna trust Baker Mayfield? Like, who are you trusting? Who are you trusting right now? None of these are not trustworthy options.
You know who I trust?
Who?
I trust Bijan Robinson. That's who I trust.
You gonna trust Bijan? Are you gonna trust that they gonna get the ball to Bijan? Because he only had 16 carries.
Well, at this point, what do you have to look, man? You need to be giving him like 30 carries a game, dog. What are we doing?
Desmond Ridder should never have more pass attempts than Bijan has carries.
Never. Under no circumstances should that happen. Half of his pass attempts should be passes to Bijan. That's screens to Bijan Robinson. That's what your passes need to be.
Hey, they got that part right. They got that part right because you know what? 6 targets, 3 receptions to Mr. Bijan Robinson. Okay,
here we go. So we figuring it out.
Drake London 5 targets.
Man, I know Drake London and Kyle Pitts and whoever else they got catching the ball. I know they'd be so pissed off.
No, see, Drake London's kind of getting off because he's the one guy that he trusts. Kyle Pitts in hell. Hey man, Andrew Berry alert. About to get Kyle Pitts on a discount, baby. Andrew Berry alert. I see a sale. They about to have a new coach. Like, they about to have a new GM. Oh yeah. That GM about to look at Kyle Pitts and be like, we're gonna get rid of him. And you know who gonna be right there? Andrew Berry. Like, I'll give you a 5th.
You need a 4th? I can do that.
Hey, how about a conditional 4th? You want PJ Walker?
You want Greg Newsome? No, let me stop.
Greg Newsome is far too valuable to trade for Kyle Pitts at this moment. Like, you want Mike Hart? Like, who you want, dog? Like, you want AJ Green III? Like, 37 receptions, 1 touchdown, 441 yards. Let me tell you something. I smell Andrew Berry alert. Watch your pockets. He's coming. But yeah, man. I don't know what to do with them. I honestly am disappointed in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Why aren't they in first place? Like,
I'm not gonna say it.
What you gonna say?
You know what I was about to say.
You can't blame this on Baker, right?
I'm not blaming this on Baker. I'm not blaming this on Baker. Baker's actually, to be honest, and this is big for me. This is big for me. I don't think Baker was the problem. I don't think Baker's been the problem at all. I don't.
That's the thing that concerns me about. Here's the thing that concerns me about Tampa Bay. And like, I know Baker fans gonna hear this, get mad at me, say I'm hating on Baker, whatever, but it's true. We've seen his career. If you 4-7 and Baker's like playing good, what's gonna happen?
You know what's gonna happen
when that other shoe start to drop.
You know what's gonna happen.
Because that's the thing. Like, you're 4-7 right now, and the brother is playing as good as he's gonna play. But you look at these last few games, and look, man, old Tiger showing them stripes.
you know what it is. Like, you know what it is. You know what it is.
Yeah,
with Baker now. You know what it is.
When he got hurt in that game, came back through an interception, I was like, Came back, played well for the rest of it. Yeah, I know. Look, we know how this usually goes. For every stretch of good Baker Mayfield games, there was an equally bad stretch coming. Like, and if he put together a good season, trade him. Trade him. That is the law of Baker Mayfield. He is Thanos, perfectly balanced. For every good season he gives you, he gonna deliver one equally bad season, because that's just the law of Baker Mayfield, man. And that's the thing I'll be looking at with them. I'll be like, dog, what you gonna do when he starts stinking?
Hey, have we considered the possibility? Have we considered the possibility after this season? Baker begs for that old thing back.
Oh, he trying to come back to the Browns?
He hit Andrew Berry like, hey, man, you was right. Trying to be that third QB? Trying to be that third QB?
You know everybody been trying to come back. Like, everybody looked at the Browns, looked at the situation, was like, I could come back for them. Like, RG3 was trying so hard to come back. Joe Flacco was like, of course I'll play for the Browns. I play for everybody else. Why not? Like, let me tell you.
Baker gonna be like, hey.
I'm pretty sure Baker gonna want to come back. You know who ain't gonna want to back? The Browns.
Kevin.
Kevin and look, what about how Kevin and Andrew move make you think they get down with Baker at all? Like, Baker moves around quite differently than those two individuals. Let me tell you.
Maybe he humbled himself a little bit. Maybe he humbled himself. You know what I'm saying? Just a little bit.
Say this as a compliment and as a statement of fact. That man walked on to Oklahoma after Trevor Knight beat Alabama and then took his job. That indicates to me that there is a matter of natural confidence and braggadociousness in him that is never going away. He is always going to be that guy. Like, the same way Urban Meyer always going to do some Urban Meyer shit because he's been too successful being Urban Meyer. It's the same way that Baker Mayfield is always going to be Baker Mayfield, for better or worse. You walk on to a university, cold turkey. Like, you just walk on campus, nobody knows you, and you have that level of success, and you win a Heisman, become one of the greatest quarterbacks in their college's history. Let me tell you, man, humble is never going to be in that man's dictionary. Like, it's never going to be in that man's dictionary. It's the same thing with, like, Dabo Swinney, where everybody's like, we should expect Dabo to evolve with the times and understand this and that. I'm like, that is a man who feels like he got it out the mud. He is never changing, okay? You ever look at Dabo's story? It's incredible. That man ain't never changing. That man always going to have that. He's overcome too much. Like, he is clearly too resilient to change. Baker Mayfield ain't never changing, dog. He done overcame way too much to ever just be like, yeah, I need to humble myself. No, he not doing that shit. Like, he's been way too successful. And I don't mean that as an insult. That's the absolute truth about a dude like Baker. Like, he's not changing. Ever. He got cut from the Browns and then cut from the Panthers and then cut from the Rams and showed up to the Buccaneers camp like, I'm QB1. He ain't never be a humble cove. Like, he Baker Mayfield, dog. Like that's who he gonna be. If he wasn't like that, he wouldn't be here, right?
Oh Lord.
Like,
oh Lord.
and I say that as somebody who's look. People talk about me being optimistic and positive. If you seen what I had to grow up through, you would understand. If I wasn't like that, I wouldn't be here. And once you like that, like you got it like that, you're not changing. Like I'm not changing. Like that's never going to change about me because it's like, yo, at that point, it's survival instinct. Like for Baker Mayfield, that done kept his career alive. If he wasn't like that, he wouldn't have been the number 1 overall pick. He wouldn't be in the NFL. He would have been some dude that Cliff Kingsbury ruined on the depth chart 4 years ago. We would never heard of Baker Mayfield. But because he's like that, he's got here, and that ain't never changing, dog. Like, it ain't never changing. Tell me if I'm telling lies.
I ain't say you telling lies, bro. I ain't say you telling lies. I'm gonna let you get your shit off. You felt very strongly about this.
He ain't never come. No, because people be saying stuff like that all the time about people changing. I'm like, you got to look at the background of somebody's story to see if this is something about them that they can ever change. And some shit ain't changing. Okay? Like, so Colb, if you have had the success that if you walked on to Ohio State and became the best quarterback in Ohio State history, won the Heisman and went number 1 overall, you changing yourself anytime soon? No.
I don't know, man. If I get traded and then they bring in Jacoby Brissett and he have a better season than me, I might be like, you know what?
No, because you know what that success brings? People in your life that's like, you could have been doing that, but better. You know what I mean? Like, no, man, he not changing. You seen how these Baker Mayfield stands talk? Those are how the people in his life talk to him. Like,
it's crazy. The stand thing be insane, bro. I'm like, yo, bro. He ain't been here in years. First of all, he ain't been here in years. We've seen multiple quarterbacks play better than him since he's been gone. What are we still doing?
And again, this is not a shot at Baker Mayfield. I'm not saying he's not capable of growth or anything. He might be capable of growth in some other areas, but when it comes to trying to take that man's confidence on the football field, for better or worse, he's always going to think that he can be the guy because that is what got him to be who he is. Like, that is a core function of his existence as a human being is that belief that's never going anywhere. Like you gotta either make the decision, you can deal with that or you can't. The Browns have made the decision they don't want to deal with that shit no more. Right? Like that's what that comes down to with Baker Mayfield. It's less about what you could do on the field, and it's about, can I deal with you and everything that you bring? And they were like, nah, we done with this. We'd rather look at all the dudes they brought in. Ain't one of them been braggadocious. Like Deshaun don't be talking shit publicly. He don't be talking shit. Jacoby Brissett, very quiet guy. Josh Dobbs, very quiet guy. DTR, and he do be talking a little spicy, but he ain't got there yet in his NFL career. You go back and look at some of the stuff at UCLA. He do be getting a little up there in spice, but that's a different level of spice than what Baker be giving you. Baker be giving that me against the world stuff. DTR be giving that I am the world stuff. Like, it's a little bit different, right? Like, you can deal with that. Like, but I'm just telling, they made that decision a long time ago. They ain't never going back to him because the issue they have with Baker Mayfield is core to his existence as a human being. That's never going to get right. He's going to always have to rock with the football guys. That's going to be who likes that shit. Andrew Berry, nah, that ain't him. Like, that ain't him. I want to know who Andrew Berry would have drafted in 2018, number 1 overall. My gut tells me Josh Allen.
Josh Allen for sure.
Yeah, Josh Allen
for sure.
I don't think he's going to be risky. It doesn't take like Lamar Jackson. I think he takes
Josh
Allen or Sam Darnold.
I think, you know what?
Well, recent events might have us thinking other things.
No, you know what? I'm changing it. He 100% is taking Lamar. 100% is taking Lamar. What he would have done, you know what he would have done? He would have traded that pick. Take Lamar later. He would have traded that pick so he could take Lamar later. Because he would have known that Lamar wasn't going to go high. So he 100% would have traded the number 1 overall pick and took Lamar Jackson later.
But that's a perfect transition, Cole, because now we're going to talk about the ranking. We're going to rank the QBs in the AFC and the NFC. We're going to start with the AFC. Now, I have put together some tiers here.
Okay.
Elite, Pro Bowl, average. Now, I have a special tier here for backups. It's like, hey, your starter went down. We're not going to hold you and rank you against the starters because that would be unfair. We're just going to rank you in your own little backup tier. But if you are a starter and you stink, you go in the stinks category.
Okay.
So how you want to do this? You want me to read off my list and you say when you object?
Yeah, let's do it that way.
All right. In the elite category, I have Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, nobody else.
Those two deserve to be in there for sure. Not arguing against that.
Those are the only two guys in the AFC that I'm like, I don't care if their wide receivers are healthy. I don't care what their offensive line looking like. I'm still worried about the passing attack with those dudes because they are still Patrick Mahomes and still Lamar Jackson. I'm not about to sleep on them. Everybody else, I'm like, hey, man, some other things got to be going right.
You know who I'm about to ask about?
2-9?
No.
Who? CJ?
Yeah.
Nah, the last couple of weeks have taken him off of elite. The last couple of weeks have been less than elite. Look, I promise you, CJ will be here in a year or two. We don't got to be same way we didn't have to be early with Trevor Lawrence. Right?
Okay.
We don't got to be early to CJ. We see the tools. It looks way more promising than Trevor Lawrence. Like he gonna be there next year or the year after. We gonna be there. But right now, your brother working off some kinks. All right, like.
All right. Okay. So we can agree on not put CJ in there. But there's one more we have to address.
Cool.
We not even considering putting Josh Allen in here?
No, absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely. If Lamar were 6-6, would we be considering Lamar as elite nationally? Would we be giving them same slack? Like, absolutely not. No. Okay, I get he has had 2 impressive performances, but he lost in the 2 more impressive games. He beat the Jets. Congratulations. But, hey, we'll see. At the end of the season, he might be an elite. He's the best non-elite player for sure, but he's been too inconsistent this year. Either we talk about Josh Allen falling off a cliff or we talk about Josh Allen balling out. That sounds like an inconsistent quarterback to me. An elite demands a level of consistency. Say what you want about Pat. We're not saying Pat costing them games. We saying Pat's ass wide receivers are costing them games, right? Like we don't ever say Lamar costing them games. Like you can legitimately point to 2 or 3 games. You're like Josh Allen cost them games.
Yeah, that first game against the Jets, 100% cost them that.
Almost anytime you watch Josh Allen this year, it's been like a 50-50 chance of like you'll be like, hey man, he cost them that win. The Broncos game.
Yep.
And by the way, the Broncos have put together a pretty impressive list of wins. Like they beat the Chiefs,
good.
the Bills, and the Browns.
They're very good. They're very
the reverse course on this whole Sean Payton failure thing. Might have to hit that button because I don't know how they're doing it. I think they're getting really lucky, but because I watched Russ, I'm like, Russ ain't even good. Like it ain't Russ that's killing you. Cause like this shit that he's doing is like it don't look good when he does it. It ends up being fine. I feel like that's gonna come off later on, but for right now, they doing all right. But yeah, that's my elite category. Are you adding Josh Allen into yours?
Yeah, I'm gonna put him in a bye. I still believe. I think the issue with the Bills is that defense is not good. I think that's the bigger overarching issue of this football team. That defense is not good. I still believe, but we gonna see what the rest of the season look like. But I still think he's a lead quarterback for sure.
I think he takes too many sacks. He throws too many interceptions. He turns the ball over too much. You can't be those 3 things. You can't be those three things and be elite. I think that was exactly Deshaun Watson's problem, even before he got to Cleveland. Took too many sacks, threw too many interceptions. Well, he didn't throw that many interceptions. Turned the ball over a lot, though. Right? Like, that was his problem.
He had more fumble issues as opposed to interception issues.
Fumble and sacks. Sacks were just a massive issue with him, right? Yeah, and you can blame all offensive line, but we've seen it here in Cleveland. It ain't all on offensive line. It's kind of him. So yeah, that's he's in that category. All right, in Pro Bowl, I have Josh Allen, I have Tua, C.J. Stroud, Trevor Lawrence, Gap, Russell Wilson, Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert's numbers are just too good to keep him out of like Pro Bowl. Because I was going to put him at average, but like he got like a 20-7 touchdown interception ratio.
I was about to say, don't put him at average. That's crazy.
That's crazy. That's absolutely insane. He's definitely a Pro Bowl. So that's why I use the gap system. I'm like, there's a gap, right? There's a gap between playing Trevor Lawrence and playing Russell Wilson, playing Justin Herbert. Mainly that people just don't respect Russell Wilson and Justin Herbert at the same level that they respect everybody else on that list.
It feels crazy to say about Justin. It feels crazy to say that about Justin Herbert, but he just can't win. Just can't win the games, man.
I think he's starting to get that loser smell on him.
He just can't do it, bro. And it's so weird because when you watch him, he's got all the literally all the talent in the world. Like I kind of feel the same way about Justin Herbert that I feel about CJ, except I see CJ win the games.
Yeah, I just watched CJ Stroud too. Coming out of college, I thought he was Justin Herbert without the loser stench.
Yeah, CJ wins. CJ wins.
And you look at Justin Herbert, it's kind of what happened to him in college. But, you know, we just blamed that on the Pac-12 back then. Bo Nix might get into the playoffs. It's crazy. All right. That's just nasty work.
Hey, but that's a crazy shot. That's a crazy shot.
Let me tell you something, man. Hey, Justin Herbert would have been in there going shot for shot with Colorado for no. Like I don't know how that changes it, but I know when Justin Herbert's in that game, they're going shot to shot with Colorado in that game.
Like 37, dog. Bo Nix needs to get a job. That's what Bo Nix needs.
Bo Nix about to go into coaching.
He might be Justin Herbert's coach. Who knows?
Hey, man, it's happening to our boy right now in Tennessee. Did he get fired in that whole? No, he wasn't in the group that got fired. That's Carolina. JT Barrett, he out there in Detroit. Shout out JT. Man. All right, man. So you're agreeing with the Pro Bowl category. Any additions? I don't think the AFC is super debatable here. I think everybody who's here should be here in the Pro Bowl.
Nah, everybody that's here should be here. Let's be honest. Everybody you got in the Pro Bowl category should be there. Only one I really disagree with is Josh Allen.
Yeah. Average quarterbacks? None. There are no average quarterbacks in the AFC. Like, that's the thing. Either they're good, you run in a backup, or you stink. Like, that's it. That's the
very
variation.
Straightforward. I appreciate it.
All right, the backup rankings. I got Gardner Minshew. He's clearly been the best backup of everybody in the AFC.
Yep.
They held that season together, played well, got some rushing touchdowns. The touchdown interception ratio passing doesn't look super impressive, but he a backup. Don't nobody give a fuck about none of that shit. When you a backup and you just try to keep the season together, we just happy you not. Oh, you talk about draft, right? Like, just hold it together. You know, you already got Anthony Richardson. Look, C.J. Stroud, Anthony Richardson entering this conference next year, dog. It's gonna be crazy.
Hold on. Since we talking, you know, what are the Colts, 6-5?
Mm-hmm.
They got that last playoff spot, right?
I believe so. Them are the Texans.
Should we has Gardner Minshew earned being the only average quarterback in the AFC?
No, he's not average. He's not average.
We can't just give him. We can't. He okay?
Yeah, absolutely not. No, like Jared Goff's average in my opinion. Like he ain't Jared Goff. Like, you don't feel like.
I don't think Jared Goff's. I think Jared Goff's a little bit above average.
Are you trying to start Gardner Minshew for a season?
How would you feel if Gardner Minshew was the starting quarterback of the Cleveland Browns right now?
I feel
Better
a little
or
better
worse?
because I have him ranked
Better or-
over the Browns backup situation. But if we had to start Gardner Minshew for a season, oh yeah, I have no expectations of that being good.
I don't know, man. I feel like if Gardner was our starting QB, no offense to DTR, who I think is very good, but you know what I'm saying? I would feel a little bit more comfortable because I know he's been there before.
Yeah,
You feel what
and
I'm
that's
saying?
why he's at the top of the backup rankings. But there's no starter you can say, oh yeah, I'd rather have him then. That isn't instincts.
I was about to say, yeah, well, we'll get there. We'll get there. Okay, let's
Right.
keep it going. Let's keep it going.
All right, second ranked backup, I have the Browns in general, DTR right now. Right? Like
Shout out Kev. Shout out
the
Kev.
Stefanski pantry. It works. It works. AJ to Daniels, come on down. Come on down.
Oh yeah, for real.
We gonna keep the factory. Jay Daniels, hey man, I saw you at Arizona. I see you at LSU. You showing improvement. Kid, you exactly who Kevin want to keep inactive all next year. Like, say what you want about the Browns, dog. We are prepared. We are preparing if this Deshaun thing don't work out. Like, we will be more like the Eagles, is what the plan is. Than anybody else. Will Levis.
Okay.
Ain't got no offensive line. It's really tough on the kid. Aiden O'Connell and Jake Browning. The reason I have all of those guys ranked below the Browns is one, the Browns have kept their season together whenever they had backup quarterback play out there. Two, these other team seasons have fell apart. Now, look, I don't know if the Bengals season has fell apart. It's fell apart. It looks like it's about to fall apart. They just let the Steelers get 400 yards of offense on them. And I know Pittsburgh fans was out here celebrating because it was the new offensive coordinator. I was like, that is the side of a team that's given up. Like, they have given up. Like, once they got to the third quarter and realized they still had them same little 7 points from Jake Browning, I saw that team go, Joe out for the year, I'm out for the year, dog. Like,
Facts.
They gave up. They gave up. All right, in the last category, in the absolute last category you want to be in, if you're an NFL fan, is in stinks. As in, your starter stinks. I'd rather have a backup than your stinky starter. Kenny Pickett. And I know Steelers fans gonna be mad. He had a good week. He still stink. Like,
he sucks.
My opinion of him wasn't built off of 1 week of research. It was built off his whole career. He stinks. Zach Wilson.
Sucks.
Stinks. It ain't his fault. I don't know. He stink. Like, I don't care what the reason is. He stink. He ain't even Stefanski pantryable. Like, stinks.
Absolutely.
Nah. And then McCorkle Jones. Ass. Absolute ass. Awful. They stink.
The Zap man is better. He's ass.
They stink. You realize how much the Patriots stink? They're 2-9.
It's over for Bill, man.
They're 2-9. They got the same record as the Cardinals, who are trying to stink. The Cardinals have started Josh Dobbs and Clayton Tune, and they've been worse than them. Like, they've been worse with their starter, McCorkle Jones.
We're going to remember the run that Bill went on. We're gonna always remember the run the Patriots went on, man. But it's over.
Hey, dog. Bill, retire. Yeah. Save your legacy.
Leave with your dignity. Leave with your dignity.
F them kids, dog.
You gave too much to the game. You gave too much to the game to go out like this, man. Just retire, leave with your dignity, and be all right.
All right, so we all agree on the stinks.
Absolutely.
All right.
We really should have put it just ask.
Zach Wilson, Gap, Mac Jones.
Like, you worse than stink, bro. You just ass. It's not redeemable. Right.
Now, in the NFC, in the elite category, I have absolutely nobody. I don't think any of these quarterbacks in the NFC are elite. I think they all need some level of help. You put Jalen Hurts on the Patriots, he probably doesn't look too good. You put Brock Purdy on the Patriots, he probably doesn't look too good. You put Dak Prescott on the Patriots, He ain't gonna look good. None of those are elite quarterbacks. And that's no shame to any of these guys. There's only but 2 elite quarterbacks in the NFL this year. It hasn't really been great quarterback play. And let's be real, Pat Mahomes in there off pure GP right now. Like, off pure GP. Like, everybody else, like Lamar done had to earn his spot in there. So nobody is elite in the NFC. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think that's a fair take to have. All right, let's look at some of these Pro Bowl guys. Pro Bowl, small category in the NFC. Got 3 guys. Jalen Hurts, Brock Purdy, Dak Prescott. Anybody you would add to that list? I know what you're about to do. Don't you dare. Don't you dare try to do this.
Should I do it just to piss you off?
I wouldn't just say it.
Put Jared Goff in there, dog. Stop
No.
disrespecting my dog.
What are you talking about?
Stop disrespecting my dog, man. Stop disrespecting my dog.
You really gonna put all this cape after you saw that Thanksgiving game?
Hey, look, man. We're gonna be all right.
What you
They
mean?
still win the division. They still win the division. We're gonna be all right. He allowed to have a bad game, man. He allowed to have a bad game.
They lost to Jordan Love and didn't lose. Got their ass beat.
It happens. You know what I'm saying? It happens.
Yeah, man, I'm not moved.
It's not like he played. It's not like he played bad. 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. So like what you want, man? What you want?
Yeah, I bet that there's more to that than just those numbers.
Hey, I'm trying to win.
You don't get your ass beat by the Green Bay Packers because your quarterback played good. Like, that don't happen. Like, okay.
Your love might have been on fire that day. You might have had a good day that day. It happens. It happens sometimes.
Yeah, Jared Goff is Jared Goff. Very average. Very average. Okay. Nope.
Hey,
I'm
I
not.
tell you, I got yelled at. Hold on, real quick. I tell you, I got yelled at on Twitter. I got
What?
yelled at on Twitter because I said I would rather have Jared Goff the rest of the way than anybody else the Browns got. No offense to DTR. I was like, yeah, I would much rather Jared Goff be our starting quarterback with Deshaun out.
Why was anybody mad at that?
And it's just like, oh, you don't believe in DTR, blah, blah. I was like, bro, it's not about whether or not I believe in DTR. It's just that if Jared Goff was starting quarterback, I know that they probably gonna win 12
You
games.
just want a starting quarterback to be playing. That's it. Like, that's
Yeah,
it.
like we probably gonna win 11 or 12 games. We're gonna be fine. That's why
I don't. Why would people yell at you for that? That's stupid.
I was like,
See, sometimes you got to be on Twitter and you have these conversations with people and you're like, if I met you at a 7-Eleven, I would ignore you. But I'm on here talking to you right now on Twitter. Let me just not, dog. Like, that's crazy.
I was just sitting there like, why? Like, what did I say that was wrong? Like, what did I say?
That's one thing Twitter don't got. Is like, you know how when somebody says some crazy shit to you in real life, you could just be like, oh, okay. Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. All right, man. like they need to have a head nod button on Twitter. Like, oh, like, you know, when your elders just talk about some bullshit, you're just like,
Yeah. All right.
Huh. For real?
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. Hey, yeah. You know, we need to make that a video, just us doing that. And then whenever somebody says something crazy, we need to just post this under the reply. What? Oh, what? For real? Yeah.
That's crazy, dog. That's crazy.
Damn. You serious? Huh.
You know, it'd be like that sometimes.
Hey, man, we just got out of the holidays. I know, I'm pretty sure some of our viewers did a healthy, they getting that ready, right? So it's ready for Christmas, because you know, Christmas, New Year's, the family get-togethers, you got to get that in prime condition. Damn. Y'all hear the craziest takes. I hear the craziest. Like, when your family know you do football talk for a living.
Oh, yeah.
You hear all the takes, dog. Like, and like, shout out to the people. Like, even when I get recognized in public, 9 times out of 10, I'm hearing somebody's take. And like, it's normally not a bad take, but you know, people see their opportunity. They get their take off. They've been waiting to get this take off. And I just got to be here listening to it. I'll tell you, look, when you work in sports talk and your family knows you work in sports talk and they like sports, you become a sounding board on the holidays. Like, you just taking callers all day. Just taking callers. What do you think about if we just put in DTR for second down? I don't know, man. I'm supposed to respond to this in a holiday setting. Like,
man, as you be drunk sometimes too, you just be like, come on, dog. I was just trying to enjoy this drink.
Sometimes you get caught at the airport. You know what I mean? Like, they try to catch you, ask you these questions. They'll text you these questions, and it's like, I get it. I understand it. I'm not mad, but also, what y'all think about that? I'll be out here saying, like, I know it's got to be, like, if it's that for me, and I am on the smallest level with this, imagine what it's like to be Stephen A. Dog. Imagine I bet it'd be like how people be trying to pitch investments to Jay-Z and rap to him at the same time. Like, I bet it must be annoying to be Stephen A. Smith. Like, he taking callers every day. But back to our list. Average. And this is why I showed Jared Goff some love. See, look, I showed Jared Goff some love, just not the love y'all wanted me to show. I got Jared Goff, Geno Smith, small gap. You feel me? Small gap. Matthew Stafford, Kyler Murray, regular gap. Baker Mayfield, Jordan Love, Sam Howell, Derek Carr, Justin Fields. And I'll be honest with you, I'm open to moving Derek Carr to stinks.
Oh no, we putting Derek Carr stinks for sure.
We putting Derek Carr in stinks. All right, we'll add him to stinks. He's in stinks.
Take him out of average. Take him out of average.
What about Justin Fields?
Keep him at the end of average. Keep him at the end of average, because part of me still not entirely sure that it's Justin's fault.
I feel like we just don't want to believe it's Justin's fault. But we kind of know.
That's fine.
Justin ain't the solution. Right?
But I don't think he's the problem.
I feel like we like Justin. We want Justin to succeed, but all of us know that we are looking forward to playing Justin Fields on week 15. So how can we put him in average if that is, like, I feel like this is cognitive dissonance from us because we like Justin and we want Justin to be successful, but
hold on. I'm gonna correct you right here.
Go ahead.
We're not looking forward to playing Justin. We are looking forward to playing the Chicago Bears.
Brother, the last time we talked about the Chicago Bears, we talked about how Myles Garrett had 5 sacks on Justin Fields and how he might get 7 this time. We was talking about Justin Fields, dog.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that O-line. Let's talk about that O-line. There's nothing Justin can do. There's nothing Justin can do about that.
He can run. Like, what you mean? He can get rid of the football?
He can't run that fast. He can't throw that fast either.
No, I feel like, look, Justin, we know you stink, but we not going to put you there. Like, which is dirty because we like Derek Carr too, but we done with him, dog. You stink, dog.
Hey, Derek ain't go to OSU. It is what it is.
I ain't even an OSU fan. I don't know why I'm letting this slide.
We not letting this happen. We not letting this happen.
I guess I'll let y'all have it. I guess I'll let y'all have it.
We're gonna be in the Stefanski pantry, and we're gonna be okay. And we gonna be all right.
I'll let y'all have it after what happened over the weekend in Michigan. I'll let y'all have that one.
Oh, don't even get me started on that. Don't even get me started on that. Don't. We're not even gonna talk.
I'm not. I promise. I'll leave it alone.
Tressel want his job back.
Tressel?
He want his job back?
I don't know. He's available. He's available. You ain't got to worry about them tattoos no more. You know who can record? Yeah, you know who can recruit quarterbacks better? All I'll say about that one is I put out a tweet in the fourth quarter. And I'm sorry, Ohio State fans, because y'all must hate me because y'all follow me because y'all Browns fans. But I'm so not an Ohio State fan. And I'll just tweet something and be like, I want to see how they going to react to this shit. Because I was like, hey, bro, there's only two ways for this to end for Ryan Day. Either he becomes a legend or he becomes a Texas A&M head coach. And I was like,
why was they mad about that?
They're like, not now. I was like, hey, man, they should have traded for Josh Dobbs. I was putting out all kind of crazy shit during the game. We'll touch on this real quick because I know this is an NFC ranking video and people don't want to hear Ohio State talk. Real quick. Sam, whatever his name is, Kyle McCord isn't even that bad, dog. Like, he can throw the ball down the field. They just refuse to let it happen. Like, it don't make any sense. Oh, man, Ryan Day. Look, you can tell a coach is bad when somebody goes to the pros and has all of these skills you did not know that they had. And look, CJ Stroud is the fraud alert for Ryan Day. Like, I have never seen fraud alert be so loud because CJ Stroud goes up a level of football. All of a sudden, he throw it on a run. All of a sudden, he's out here scrambling for yards. He athletic. He out here throwing the ball deep, getting in between, dealing with pressure. I'm like, oh, you were being held back by your coach. You got Cliff Kingsbury. Kyle McCord is being Cliff Kingsbury right now. That man might walk on to Oklahoma and become the best quarterback in their history again. Like,
nah. I don't think so, dog. I don't think so.
How else do you explain how much better CJ Stroud is in the NFL than he was in college?
Oh, no, I'm not disagreeing with that. But I watched Kyle McCord play with my two eyes. That's not what's happening.
Nah, look, I'm telling you right now, you gonna get Kyle McCord out there at Florida or something like that. You're like, I didn't know he could throw like that. I didn't know he could scoot like that. It was Ryan Day. I'm telling you right now. I can see it. I know fraud when I see fraud. And Ohio State fans, I'm telling you, Ryan Day running fraud.
Dog, nobody disagreed with you. We need that man to get fired. Please go to Texas A&M.
There was people in the replies saying something crazy like, why are we blaming Ryan Day for just losing to Michigan? If you look at his record outside of Michigan, he's pretty good. I'm like, what did you just say? You play one game that matters in the Big Ten. Like, please stop playing with me. You play one game that matters in the Big Ten.
They over here championing wins over Rutgers and Maryland and Michigan State. If you don't get the fuck out of my face, dog. Bro, Q, you can coach Ohio State to those wins. I do not care about that shit,
dog. We're watching Michigan just walk through the Big Ten with no coach. Like, it does not take a great effort at these programs. This is why I say about coaching all the time in college. It's so overrated. Like, none of these coaches in college are actually good. Because they were good, they'd be in the NFL. Like, you actually need to coach in the NFL. But, like, when it comes to the coaching part of it, you could be so ass and get away with it. People out here searching for Urban Meyer back. I'm like, the brother didn't even know who Aaron Donald was in the league. And you like, damn, it's a lot better than Ryan Day. Because you know what? Ryan Day learned everything he learned from Urban Meyer, who we found out in the NFL didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. Like, of course this is going bad.
Oh my God. Give me a new coach. Get us a new coach, man. I do not care. I don't care.
Get you somebody who can actually coach. You know who can coach? Luke Fickell. That was a coach right there. I need to go steal Hill from Wisconsin. So do what you need to do. That was a coach. Coach that defense on that national championship team. Coach Cincinnati to a more competitive college football playoff game than Michigan has ever had. Like, y'all need to go steal Luke Fickell. Like, if I'm Ohio State, hey, Luke, we know what you want. Come on. Come on. You know who could coach? Jim Tressel. That was a coach right there. Look, let me tell you something. I'm pretty sure you've never been to Youngstown, but if you've been to Youngstown, you're like, damn, you built a powerhouse here? It's crazy. It's not easy. It is not an economically rich environment to where you would have the advantages to do such a thing, which is recruit a good football team. You got to be willing to go to some dark places if you want to recruit a winner at Youngstown. He did that, came to Ohio State, made another winner. Put the building block down for Ohio State to be the program that they are today. But Urban Meyer can't coach. Like, I'm telling y'all right now, Urban Meyer is not a good coach. He is just somebody who benefited from a lot of talent being around him. But the second he don't got that talent, he gonna look like Ryan Day. You know how I know this, Cole? It was looking like Ryan Day at the end of Urban Meyer's run at Ohio State. Now, wasn't it? When he losing like Purdue, like Michigan State.
He did drop a game to Purdue, but you know what he didn't do? You know what he didn't
lose to Michigan?
Lose to Michigan.
Let me tell you, everything that drives you crazy about Ryan Day, Urban Meyer gonna be doing this. Who you think giving him the encouragement? They be like, yeah, Ryan Day hooked up with Urban Meyer before the game. So he's like, you know what you need to do, Ryan? Trust the screen. I trusted the screen all the way in Florida. We're gonna run the screen. Like, people think Urban Meyer about to bring something different, dog. He is his henchman. Like, he's just doing what Urban Meyer wants him to do. I'm telling you right now, Ohio State fans, get away from this Urban Meyer tree, man. The motherfucker can't coach. None of them. Dan Mullen can't coach. None of them. They don't know what they're doing. They just getting by off of like talent. So you might as well hire Jimbo Fisher. Like, it's gonna be the same result.
Lord.
Back to the NFC quarterbacks.
Yeah, let's get back to what we were talking about.
Do you have any disagreement with my gap alignment here?
I do. I have a disagreement with one thing.
Okay, what's up?
After you got the regular size gap,
yes,
you got Baker Mayfield.
Yes,
at the top.
Yeah. Yeah. Come on. Stop. Yeah, I'm taking Baker Mayfield. I'm taking Baker Mayfield over Jordan Love, Sam Howell, and Justin Fields. Like, come on.
Are we sure we're taking him over Sam Howell?
Yes. Sam Howell is Baker Mayfield with more reps.
Hey, man, I feel like Sam Howell might be the good Baker Mayfield. I don't know.
He's Baker Mayfield in every way possible. A lot of yards, a lot of touchdowns, a lot of interceptions.
Let me look at these stats real quick, man.
He got 19 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. Tell me that ain't some Baker Mayfield shit right there, man. Like,
hey, man.
That is 2019 Baker Mayfield.
What round did Sam get drafted?
Third round.
I ain't gonna say what I want to say.
Nah, man, come on. I would take Baker Mayfield over all of those guys. I don't even think I'm hesitating. Oh, fifth round.
Oh, see?
Hey, man, we're not doing a draft value pick. Like, yeah, he's a better draft value than Baker Mayfield. But as far as the play, this is Baker Mayfield all the way. Like,
I just feel like they should be next to each other on the list, at least.
They are. They're the same group.
I'd be like literally one right after.
No. Baker Mayfield's better than Sam Howell simply because he's been in the league longer.
Baker Mayfield and Sam Howell is literally the Spider-Man meme.
But he's like the older, wiser Spider-Man that still makes the same mistakes. Yeah, you know how I know Baker. Look at his game log. He got a 3 interception game and a 4 interception game with no touchdowns and a 37-3 loss to the Buffalo Bills. Sam Howell does. Tell me that ain't some Baker Mayfield stuff.
I'm telling you, Spider-Man meme.
Took 9 sacks. Guy. Took 9 sacks in that game.
Same guy. Guy.
Yeah. He's basically Baker Mayfield, but Baker Mayfield at this point's a little bit older and knows a little bit more. Same category of player, though. But yes, I can't put him above him. So yeah, Baker Mayfield, I'm holding firm on that. You might be able to get me to move Jordan Love, but Jordan Love don't turn the ball over as much as Sam Howell.
Let me see what Jordan Love's done this year.
I think it's like 19-10.
Let me see what Jordan Love's done this year, man. Yeah, 19-10.
Now, how many fumbles has he had? I think that's his downfall, is he fumbles a lot.
Let's see.
It is
Rushing.
shockingly hard to find fumbles.
It is actually ridiculously hard to find fumbles on here.
Yeah. All right, he has 4 fumbles. 0 lost. That's okay. I guess fumbling. Fumbling not a big problem for him. He doesn't turn the ball over that much. Yeah. Yeah, he's under Baker Mayfield. Yeah. Yeah, I feel pretty good about those rankings for elite. So for those, because we took a lot of side roads on this. Pro Bowl, Jalen Hurts. There's nobody in elite. Pro Bowl, Jalen Hurts, Brock Purdy, Dak Prescott. Average, then we have our average tier, Jared Goff, Geno Smith. Then we have a little gap, Matt Stafford, Kyler Murray. Regular gap, Baker Mayfield, Jordan Love, Sam Howell, Justin Fields. Now we're going to rank the backups. Josh Dobbs, Tommy DeVito. Pretty obvious here, right?
Yeah, that's fine. Shout out Tommy DeVito.
Yeah.
Good little run.
Playing better. Then we have Stinks, Derek Carr, Desmond Ridder, Bryce Young. Bryce Young's terrible.
I feel bad for Bryce.
I
feel bad for Bryce. I do. I feel bad for Bryce.
I feel bad for Bryce because he's going to get blamed for a lot of stuff that he can't fix because I just don't think he got it. Look, man, it's not a good sign when they fire your coach and your quarterback coach. That does not say to me that the people who have worked with him in the building since he got drafted have any belief in him.
Well, let's be honest. Not like they wanted him.
Yeah, but if you were showing a little something, man, they'd be like, all right, we with Bryce, right? Like the fact that they got, not only did Frank Reich get fired, they were like, we got to fire the quarterback coach and the assistant running back coach, who's also the passing game coordinator. Like, nah, dog, all of that says to me, they think that this kid is ass. Hey, and they need to get some people who believe in there.
Coach, why is the running back coach?
Because they are getting rid of everybody who they got rid of 3 very competent coaches. We know Frank Reich to be a competent coach. He's not competent in who he ever recommends for quarterback because he went out on that damn Carson Wentz sword for no reason. But yeah. But Frank Reich, we know him to be good offensive mind. Josh McCown, very trusted quarterback coach. And what's the running back coach's name? Because he has a pretty good reputation. But they got rid of him. This coach with a good reputation, I can't remember. They got rid of him. These are all 3 respected coaches. And you know why they got rid of him? Because they asked him, do you think Bryce can be a franchise quarterback? And the answer was no. Because that's the truth. You're not squeezing that out of him. He stinks. There's no way around it. Like, none of the skills transferred from college. He's small. Watch him and watch DTR and tell me who you think's going to be the better player. If you put DTR in a Bryce Young jersey, you would be like, oh, I get why he went number 1 overall. More so than when you watch Bryce Young in a Bryce Young jersey.
Damn, Bryce.
It's not his fault. He's just not that good. It's the owner's fault. But it sucks to say, hey man, it's the owner's fault for believing in you. And I can see how the mistake was made, right? Look, you got to ignore all the other stuff. You watch him play football, and he was so good at Alabama. He was the only reason Alabama was able to stay in an elite tier status. But he stinks. He's not good. And I know people love to blame it. And I think I put up the video and people got mad as hell at me, Panther fans, blaming it on everything else under the sun. And look, I'm a Browns fan. I've been here. I know what you're feeling. It's everybody else's fault. It's the wide receivers. It's the offensive coordinator. It's the coach. But guess what? I've never said that. And then the next year they fired a coach and it felt like the quarterback was fixed. Colb, have you? Have you ever been like, oh, it's the coach, it's this, it's that. They're going to fix him. And then he's fixed.
No.
It don't happen like that. It's never. We've been watching the Browns cycle these dudes out for 20 years. It's never. Brandon Weeden, oh, he just get a new offense coordinator. You get away from Brian Dable, he going to be fine. No, he stunk more. Like, we get Colt McCoy around the right guys, he going to be fine. No. He's Colt McCoy. He stinks. Like.
That's not how it works. It's never how it's going. It's never
we get Cody Kessler around. Cody Kessler, Hugh Jackson. No, it don't matter.
Dog, listen to the names of the guys we've been forced to try to believe in.
we done tried these excuses out. We done did this with Baker Mayfield. Hey man, he gets some more wide receivers around him. Keep in mind, he was on like Jarvis Landry and Odell Beckham. It was going crazy bail for him. Crazy bail. It don't ever work out, man. And let me tell you, Bryce Young ain't even Baker Mayfield.
Oh, that hurts.
He's not good. He's not good. He does not have any of the tools needed to succeed. He's just not going to be able to do it. And I know that people don't like it because, like, hey, man, we got to get these quarterbacks time to develop. But there is a catch-22 in that. If Anthony Richardson stunk right now, okay, that could come around. Right? Like, I wouldn't be so eager to write that one off. That can come around. But you draft somebody who's supposed to be pro-ready, and then you throw them in the pros, and it is obvious that they do not have any of the tools needed to play the game that they wanted to in college, in the NFL. Writing's on the wall. Like, writing's on the wall. This is Colt McCoy. This is Kenny Pickett. We know what's up. We know what this is.
Damn, Kenny Pickett, dog. Come on.
Is he not like, if you just take Bryce Young out the Bryce Young jersey and you forget about everything else he did in college, does he do anything that's different than Colt McCoy or Kenny Pickett? Two guys who were excellent in college. Well, Kenny Pickett was all right in college.
I was going to say, Colt McCoy was not excellent in college.
But this is the comp. Colt McCoy, Bryce Young. That's the comp.
Yeah, man. Even looking at his stats right now, I'm like, nah, dog. Like, nah.
He only has 161 rushing yards. People thought that'd be a big part of his game.
No. 9 touchdowns, 8 picks.
He's taken 40 sacks. Yards. So the pocket presence isn't there. There's no flash. There's been no like Bryce Young game. He might stay in the league for a while, but he's Colt McCoy. Like, that tier. We underestimate the possibility that quarterbacks who get drafted in the first round can end up being Colt McCoy. We really do underestimate that possibility. It is the most likely result. Like, we always go to, he could be Kirk Cousins. He could be Josh Allen. No, it's likely he's going to be Colt McCoy.
He could be
that's
Jake
if
Locker.
He's lucky. Because you could be Blaine Gabbert.
You could be Jake Locker.
Jake Locker.
You could be who else?
And those are the guys who.
Who did the Panthers take? Who did the Panthers take the year before they took Cam?
Oh, you talking about Jimmy Clausen? Yeah, now
Clausen.
That's the most likely scenario. It's Jimmy Clausen. That's usually you get a Jimmy Clausen or Deshaun Kaiser. Somebody don't even get to their second contract, right? But yeah, Bryce Young stinks. And look, I hate to pile on the kid. It's not his fault. He stinks. He's just not good. It's not going to change. You can fire the coach. Like, honestly, it sucks because the Panthers can't dig themselves out of it. I would immediately draft somebody number 1 overall if I were the Panthers. But you traded that pick to get Bryce Young. The irony of it all is that I don't know if you have the number 1 overall pick if Bryce Young's not your quarterback. Like, that is the great irony of it all. I think if literally anybody else is their quarterback, they probably are a 4-win team.
Honestly, if they would have took CJ, if they would have traded up and took CJ,
I'm not even going to get to CJ. I'm not even going to get to CJ. If they just don't take a quarterback and they start anybody else, I think they're a 4-win team.
Man.
So I don't even think they get the number 1 overall pick. Like, Bryce Young is the reason they're getting the number 1 overall pick. He's that bad.
Mm-hmm.
You traded the number 1 overall pick to get him. Like,
David Tepper,
by the way,
man.
hey, if that ends up happening and Bryce Young's career pans out how I think it will, I don't care how many first round picks anybody else gave up for any other quarterback. That is the worst quarterback trade. Okay? Like, because it's not just what you didn't get. It's also, I know Caleb Williams or Drake May. One of them two gonna be fire. Okay? Like,
Hey, they both might be
they
cold,
both
to be
might be fire, right? Which brings us to another flawless transition. Cole.
Uh-oh. We cooking.
Yes, we cooking today with Greece. Who do you want to get the number 1 and number 2 overall picks? Because we know who that pick is. Look, they're going to play all these games with Caleb Williams, try to get him to fall in the draft. I don't think that people are that stupid. I don't think that 2 teams are that stupid. Okay?
Oh, no. 2 teams.
One team is going to be stupid. I've already said this. I don't trust the Chicago Bears in this situation at all. Honestly, I hope they trade out because they're going to ruin whoever they get. And honestly, hope they don't draft Marv too. Stay away from him. I want Marv to have a beautiful career. It's not going to happen in Chicago. So here are the teams that are right now top 4 picks in draft. Chicago has number 1. Arizona has number 2. New England, number 3. Chicago has number 4. Now, of those 4, the Bears need a quarterback, but I don't know if the Bears believe that they want to draft a quarterback.
They gonna take a quarterback. They taking a quarterback.
Cole.
Come on, we're gonna have an argument again.
I'm just gonna say this. Here's why I don't feel like the Bears are gonna take a quarterback. Because right now, it makes the most sense in the world to take Caleb Williams, number 1 overall, and pair him up with Marvin Harrison with the 4th pick in the draft. That would be a very competent, very smart move for a football team to do. I have no disagreement with that. Like, you can almost sleepwalk into that decision. But this is the Chicago Bears we're talking about. And simply because that is the case, I don't expect them to make that layup. I know they're going to smoke that shit. Like, I just see it. They have smoked this layup so many times as a franchise. Don't forget, this is the organization that brought you Mitchell Trubisky 2nd overall. In a draft where that was absolutely unnecessary. Like, absolutely unnecessary to take Mitchell Trubisky 2nd overall. You know who the other team that proved they were untrustworthy in that draft was? Was San Francisco 49ers. They took Solomon Thomas, number 3 overall. They needed a quarterback. You know what they ended up doing the next time they would look for a quarterback? They traded for Trey Lance. Once somebody has demonstrated that you cannot trust them, you don't ever need to give them that benefit of the doubt again unless ownership has changed. And I'm sorry, whoever made that decision for Mitchell Trubisky, number 2 overall, is in that room because it's the same ownership. And I don't trust them boys to look at Caleb Williams and not see everything else that everybody else is trying to make them see with Caleb Williams. And watch, they're going to find a way to talk themselves out of Marv. Reminds us of George Pickens. Like, they're going to say something stupid. I promise you, Colb, they are going to talk themselves out of the easiest draft layup of all time.
No, this is what they're going to do. They're going to take quarterback. They're 100% going to take quarterback. I guarantee you they're going to take Drake May first. I guarantee you they're going to take Drake May with the number 1 overall pick, and whoever has a 2nd pick, they're taking Caleb Williams immediately. I guarantee you, if there is a team who's not going to take him first, I believe wholeheartedly they're going to draft a quarterback with the number 1 overall pick. They're going to pick Drake May. I can already see it. They're going to pick
which wouldn't be a bad pick, which is why I don't think they're going to do it. That would be a good pick. That'd be smart. Bears ain't going to do that shit. You know what the Bears going to do? We going to sign Josh Dobbs to a 4-year, $60 million contract. They're going to do it. Yes. Yes.
They're not doing
this.
They are not doing this.
I'm telling you, you looking at them through competent NFL football lenses, Cole. I need you to put your 2012 Browns goggles on. Put them on. Put your Ray Farmer. Put your Ray Farmer goggles on right now. Put the Ray Farmer lenses on. Put the Ray Farmer Cartiers on right now because I'm putting them on and I'm like, what will Ray Farmer do? You know what Ray Farmer would do? Trade back, sign Josh Dobbs and say we good. That's who they are right now, dog.
I can't believe it.
Nah, they gonna do something to fuck that up. I promise you. They are gonna mess that up.
I can't see it.
I will get at it so much on draft day when the Bears do what we know what the Bears gonna do. Dog. Again, you keep looking at this as if they gonna be cops to the dots. I'm looking at this like, nah, what if Ray Farmer were there? Put your Ray Farmer goggles on.
Oh man. Hey, they would definitely trade back. Definitely trade back and take a tackle.
Trade back, take a tackle, draft the quarterback at 22. Now, who's the quarterback at JJ McCarthy?
Oh man.
Yep. He reminds us of Jim McMahon. Yeah.
That's how Ray Farmer would do.
I'm telling you right now. It's gonna happen. It's way too easy. Look, Cole, the Browns have literally been in this situation before. And they have not done the layup.
Okay, let's be honest. Do you think this version of the Browns would do that?
Absolutely not. This version of the Browns is sprinting to the podium, taking Caleb Williams, and then they might even move up to make sure they get Marvin Harrison Jr. But this is a good organization right now. But you know what Ray Farmer was doing in this situation. Oh yeah, we're gonna take Phil Taylor, 22nd overall. Who needs Julio Jones?
No disrespect to Phil. No disrespect to Phil whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect to Phil. But I cannot see the Chicago Bears smoking the easiest decision in the world. Look, you either take Caleb or you take Drake. That's it.
All right. Besides the fact if they do it, look, maybe part of the reason I'm saying the Bears ain't gonna do this because I don't want the Bears to take them. Okay, because they're gonna ruin them. Okay, I don't trust them.
That is fair.
I don't trust them. I don't want them to have them. Like they don't deserve them. Okay, I now know how people felt like when they were scared as hell Andrew Luck was going to end up on the Browns because look, all bets are off. In 2012, if he was on the Browns,
that's true.
He might have retired in 2016. Like,
hey, to be fair, he would have had a much better offensive line if he went to the.
He would have had a much better offensive lineman.
Hey, offensive line.
No. The 2014 offensive line was good. Hey, might have been a good team, actually. You know what? Yeah. Andrew Luck could have saved you. But RG3, I promise you, brother, you're not having that 1 year if you got drafted to Cleveland. Nope. Nope. Absolutely. Look, it didn't make sense to me at the time, but the universe demanded it. Trent Richardson was our pick. Okay? That's who we deserved to get in that era. We didn't deserve. You think we getting nice shit like DeJuan Jones in the 4th round in 2012, dog?
Absolutely
we didn't deserve it. You know what? We had a chance to get Tyrann Mathieu in 2013. It took some dude who never played a preseason game right in front of him. We didn't deserve it is why we didn't make those decisions back then. And let me tell you right now, the Bears don't deserve Drake May. They don't deserve Caleb Williams. And they damn sure don't deserve no Marvin Harrison III. It better not happen. All right.
You mean Marvin Harrison Jr.?
Marvin Harrison Jr., third. If he got a cousin, none of them. None of Marvin Harrison's other kids, none of them. No, absolutely not. I don't want to see them be out here acting like George Pickens, not getting the ball. Nah. Keep them off the Bears. But again, that probably goes into my reason why I think the Bears going to fumble this. One, they got I'm about to sign Josh Dobbs written all over them. I'm telling you right now, Cole, they about to sign Josh Dobbs.
We gotta make a bet about this. We gotta make a bet about this.
They're going to sign Josh Dobbs. Somebody's going to do it. Somebody in the NFC North is going to do it. It's either going to be the Vikings or it's going to be the Bears. and there will be a bidding war for Josh Dobbs, who's going to make that price go up. And you'll be like, how the hell did Josh Dobbs get $80 million? I'm telling you right now.
Oh, Lord.
Get that money, Joshua.
Hey, get your money, man. If you get 80 M's, go ahead and take it. I don't care who
Hey,
I don't care who offered it to
you.
You
Earned
take
it.
it.
I saw a video of somebody cutting up. The Minnesota Vikings need to realize that Josh Dobbs is a franchise level quarterback. Oh yes, Colb, I never underestimate the ability for management to be stupid. And let me tell you, Josh Dobbs is exactly who they get stupid over. Like a story like that. Oh, management make the dumbest decisions with that kind of. Yeah, I already know they about to give him $80 million. And you know what? I'm not mad at him for doing it. Like, you got to get your money. I hope one day somebody gets so enamored with me that they give me $80 million, dog. I ain't never living up to that.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. You give me 80 M's, it's gonna be the worst investment you've ever given anybody.
Hey. I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna say, look, it's gonna be worth it to you. You know what I mean? It's gonna be worth it to you. Who cares what everybody else say? It's gonna be worth it for me. It's gonna be worth it for you. I don't know what Colb out here talking about. I'm worth 85. What you mean? It's value. Just in case anybody ever want to do that. You know what I mean? Look what I've done. Like, fuck out of here. I'll get my money. Of these teams, I'll go a name. Who do you want to get the number 1 and number 2 overall pick? So we like Drake May and we like Caleb Williams and we want them to have good careers. There is Arizona, New England. We already know we both don't want them going to Chicago. Washington, maybe with Eric Bieniemy as the head coach.
Maybe.
New York, Tampa Bay, the New York Jets. So Giants and Jets. The LA Clippers. At the 9th pick of the draft right now.
You could already take them off. No. You could already take them off. No.
The Tennessee Titans and whoever finishes second place in the NFC South, because they gonna want a quarterback, because we talk about Desmond Ridder or Derek Carr. Like,
you know what? Honestly, I think they've won too many games. They've won too many games, but if the Falcons traded up for one of them, I think that would be fun.
You know what? The Falcons can do that because the Bears will be like, well, Kyle Pitts was a first round pick. So it's kind of like getting 3. Like, it's kind of like getting 4. Oh, yes. Yes. The Falcons have the ammunition. The Falcons right there. Fleece.
I want the Falcons to either get the first, but this is the thing. Arizona has the second pick. They're not taking quarterback. You know what I'm saying? They're not taking a quarterback. So
you don't think so?
No, they're not gonna. They're gonna stick with Kyler. I'm pretty confident they're gonna stick with Kyler. I'm pretty confident.
I understand it, but like, man, it depends on who's too. If Drake May's there, I don't pass up on Kyler's future for Drake May. If Caleb Williams is there too,
he could be. He honestly could be.
If Caleb Williams is there too, and I'm looking at Kyler and I'm looking at Caleb Williams, and I'm like, he basically Kyler Murray at worst, but bigger, faster, and stronger. How do you say no to that?
I hear you.
You even got the same, like, people don't like his personality. They don't like Kyler's personality either. So, like, just go ahead. Just swap it out.
This is the thing.
And then you can trade Kyler for something else. You could probably trade Kyler. You know what? You
just mentioned what I was going to say.
You could trade
Kyler is the issue.
Nah, because the Bears exist. What you mean? You gonna trade Kyler to the Bears? Or because the Bears gonna miss out on Josh Dobbs and say, all right, we need to get another guy. Let's get Kyler. And you could trade Kyler to Chicago. And then boom, you good. They'll probably give you a first round. They will give you the 4th pick of the draft for that.
No, they wouldn't. No.
Yeah, they gave up a 2nd round pick for Chase Claypool.
Fair. Fair.
Like, if you
They
come
did do
out
that.
there and hand them a package with Kyler Murray, they will gladly give you a first round pick.
Oh, Bears. I'm trying to believe. I'm trying to believe you do the right thing.
I don't believe in them at all, man. I don't believe in them at
I'm trying to
all.
believe they're gonna do the right thing. I really am. I'm trying to believe they're gonna do the right thing.
Now I know how, like, when I got mad 10 years ago, when I was like, why do people look at the Browns like this? I understand it. We didn't deserve none of these blessings that we was trying to force ourselves into. The Bears, they deserve to have a historically bad trade this summer. This is what they deserve. Okay. This is what it's gonna be. But yeah, the Falcons, I would like the Falcons, but for which player? I think Caleb Williams makes the most sense there. You imagine that backfield with two guys who could run it there, and Caleb Williams can sling that thing. Woo! Ooh. Drake London out there just running routes, just open. Ooh. Ooh.
Man.
Hey.
The USC connection back?
Man.
Oh.
Yes.
Ooh. Falcons, do it.
Yes, Falcons. I will go to the games. Let me tell you, dog. You will finally be more popular than UGA in Atlanta if you do this, Falcons. Like, you will finally be able to outgain them in attendance. Because right now, y'all not.
What other team? You know where I want Drake May to go?
What, New England?
No. But I do understand why you would think that. I think I want Drake May to go to the Jets.
I was about to say the same thing.
I want him to go to
get mentored for a year with Aaron Rodgers. See, that's a team that if they were being smart, and look, let me be real with you. It's a reason Tim Boyle in there, right? Did they announce that they've taken him out yet?
No.
Yeah, it's a reason Tim Boyle in there. Because Tim Boyle gonna do what he did in college. He gonna do what he did in the NFL. You know what? Me and you were wondering why Tim Boyle was in the league, and we was looking at his stats. We was like, how is he in the league with these stats? Right? Just outwardly shocked that somebody with that bad of a resume could make it to the NFL. But have we ever once considered, Colb, that he is in the league because of this resume?
What you mean?
Maybe you get Tim Boyle because you know one thing Tim Boyle not gonna do is win you a game. You know that Tim Boyle stinks. They gonna stink with Tim Boyle, and that you gonna lose. The man was the starter of what? Nope, had one pass attempt that doesn't count. He played significant football and one win in college. One. Maybe we had this all wrong. Maybe you put Tim Boyle in because you're trying to make that package easier to get Caleb Williams or Drake May. Now, I'm going to be real with you. If the plan is to put the young fella behind Aaron Rodgers, you going to have to take Drake May. I don't imagine Caleb Williams and Aaron Rodgers, that's going to mix well. Don't think that's going to go well.
Yo, want Caleb around the conspiracy theories?
Look, man, I just don't think that they would have a strong reaction to each other. like it might be one of those Sauce Gardner, Aaron Rodgers, odd best friend scenarios. But look, man, Sauce Gardner and Aaron Rodgers got something where they could get along with. At the end of the day, they both kind of jerks, but they really braggadocious about it. They just do it in different styles. Aaron Rodgers could be more of a different human than Caleb Williams. Okay. Nah, man. Nah. He gonna see that nail polish in that quarterback room, and Aaron Rodgers gonna say some crazy shit. You cannot have that. Okay? You cannot have that.
You say Aaron gonna be like, Not my
She
my
not
locker
going.
room.
Aaron Rodgers listen to InfoWars, dog. You cannot have that man in the room with Caleb Williams. Absolutely not. Okay.
Hey man, hey, the not in my locker room. that first not in my locker room gonna be crazy.
And it smells too. Oh, Aaron ain't having none of that. None of that. He's not having none of that. He gonna be in there calling Caleb Williams the liberal elite. Like, no, he cannot.
No, Aaron Rodgers calling him a liberal. No, I kind of want it to happen.
I'm gonna need a season of in-season Hard Knocks if that ever does happen. But God, no, absolutely
it would be great.
not.
Hey,
no,
low-key, it would be great for this podcast.
Oh yes, we would have endless. We would become a Jets podcast. Dog. We just move this podcast to New York. Fuck it. But no, absolutely.
No,
One, I don't think Caleb Williams is the type of guy you can draft unless you're gonna play him right away. All right. Some people just ain't built for sitting. Caleb Williams is not built. You saw what happened to the last guy they tried to play ahead of him. Poor Spencer Rattler. Ain't never been the same. Okay? Like, that's not somebody you could just sit on the bench. All right? Had the student section of Oklahoma chanting, F you, Spencer, put in Caleb. Nah, that's not the type of dude with the type of fan base and the type of hype around him you can sit on the bench for a year. Good old Drake May, he been playing in the ACC. Ain't nobody gonna care if we gotta wait one more year to see him. Nobody gonna give a fuck. Like, we gonna forget about Drake May till he play next year. Like, nobody gonna care. And he gonna be called and be like, oh yeah, look what they did. It's smart. But you can't put no damn, no Caleb Williams. Okay. Not in New York. Hey, think about that. We ain't even talk about the element of it being New York, Colb.
Yeah, we didn't even get to that. Woof.
No.
Yeah.
Absolutely no.
It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it.
I think Caleb Williams is one of the best draft prospects of all time. If I'm the New York Jets, you're going to have to miss out, bro. Like, you do not have the dynamic in that locker room to nurture that one. No. Imagine the first time Caleb Williams coming in with one of them fits, Aaron Rodgers with his mustache in there. Talk about we losing the country, bro.
Looking like a cop.
We're losing the country, bro. Like,
you can already hear what happened to America.
We used to be a great country. Nah, absolutely not. No,
nah, we're good.
No,
we're good.
This is not to say that Aaron Rodgers is a bad person or anything, but there are certain dynamics. Like, you know who can't sit next to each other at Thanksgiving? Like, similar vibes here. like,
no,
you know what I mean?
Thanksgiving is crazy.
You know who can't sit next to each other. Those seats are meticulously planned out. Nah, we gotta move that. Do you want to know, Cole, why there is a kids table and an adults table, and you got to be like 70 to be at the adults table? Because some kids ain't mixing in that room, dog. Okay, we not mixing in that room. We got different beliefs. Like, it's not gonna work out. They try to cut it up like it's the old days. We gonna be like, dog, you can't say that. They are trying to hear none of that. Aaron Rodgers ain't trying to hear none of that. Like, nah.
Hey, man.
Pair Caleb Williams with Jacoby Brissett or something else like that. Like, you not no Aaron Rodgers. Okay. No. Absolutely not. That would be one of the law.
I love how vehemently opposed to this. It's like, under no circumstances will we allow this to happen.
Oh no. You imagine if like Kobe Bryant had to deal with Dennis Rodman in both their primes? Like, somebody would have died.
Man, I see how Kobe was handling D'Angelo Russell and Julius Randle. Hey, have you seen that gift?
Look at how he handled Shaq when Shaq was still better than him. Like, he didn't even have the he didn't have the status in the organization yet to be out here talking to Shaq the way he talked to Shaq. Like, this was peak Shaq. He was talking about don't work that hard, not really trying to be a team player. Peak Shaq. He wasn't Kobe yet. He was just up and coming Kobe Bryant. Like, imagine if Shai Gilgeous Alexander was like, LeBron don't work hard enough. Like, what? You'd be like, you lost your mind? This cannot be a dynamic that continues to exist. And that was how it was with Shaq. Putting Aaron Rodgers in that room with Caleb Williams would be like, what if we put prime Kobe in a room with prime Dennis Rodman, which is, I might show up to practice. You imagine Kobe lose his mind. Kobe would have lost his mind.
Oh, man.
Say what you want about Meta World Peace. Meta World Peace wasn't in the club the day before. Now when he was Meta World Peace, he just might smack somebody upside the head. And Kobe liked that. No, Dennis Rodman wasn't even at practice. That would have drove Kobe crazy. Talk about we can't find Dennis.
Oh, man.
No.
Kobe might have killed somebody.
No, dog.
He would have choked somebody out.
No, those two can't be teammates. Sometimes you just got to read the room and say, these two can't be teammates. And in the NFL, that is absolutely true in quarterback rooms. Those two can't be teammates. And it's not because they're going to hate each other. It's because they just not going to like each other. Like, nothing you want to be gleaned from that room is going to be gleaned. And it's funny because it happened to Aaron Rodgers. They put him in a room fresh out of cow with Brett Favre.
Brett Favre, dog. Brett Favre.
And
everything you know about Brett Favre right now. Everything you know about Brett Favre.
Aaron Rodgers hated Brett Favre until he became Brett Favre. All right.
Is that crazy?
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Hey, man. That's a metaphor for life. That's a metaphor for life.
That's crazy. Nah. The Jets don't need to do that one, even though it would be thoroughly entertaining. Do you see any wild card teams popping up to trade for a quarterback?
Part of me was going to say the Titans. Part of me,
they're in the mix. They're in the mix.
They're in the mix. I don't know if they pull the trigger.
I think they're too happy with Will Levis right now to do it, which is not great, but
they want to fix the O-line.
Fair enough.
And then see what Levis can do, and then go that route. I think that's what they're going to try to do.
That would be a good way to go about it.
Tampa Bay?
Hey, if there's a team that should. Because let me tell you something. Look, there are Caleb Williams teams and there are Drake May teams. Tampa Bay's a Caleb Williams teams. like you take Caleb Williams, you throw him right there, you might get to playoffs next year. I think the Giants are a Caleb Williams team.
Really?
Yes. Because they're not.
I feel like they're a Drake May team, low-key.
Organizationally, given their history, given that they have not really been super willing to diversify the quarterback position. And if you want to get mad at me for saying that, the first black quarterback to win a game for the New York Giants was this year. It was Tyrod Taylor.
Right, Taylor.
That doesn't sound like y'all have had a lot of diversity in New York, right? Y'all had Geno Smith the whole time and just didn't play him. Something tells me Geno could have outplayed whoever you had. No, they were about to play Geno Smith because Eli was in there and they had an outrage once Geno Smith got put in there, and then they made it go back to Eli. Not saying anything about Giants fans as a whole, more about the organization.
We not saying that for y'all get mad because I know how y'all get.
We're not saying that. But what I am saying is, I don't think that owner gonna be like, yeah, let's get Caleb Williams. But that team should want Caleb Williams. If you can understand the distinction. All right, Washington. Eric Bieniemy, Caleb Williams. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm taking that.
I would do it.
But only if you hire Eric Bieniemy.
Are we sure they're not going to believe in Sam Howell?
Why?
Because that's what teams do.
It depends on who the head coach is. If Eric Bieniemy's there, I promise you, he not about to be like, yeah, let's rock with Sam Howell. Okay.
I don't think he gonna be the head coach though.
That'd be a damn shame. Because he the only good thing about that team right now.
I don't think he gonna be the head coach.
It'd be a damn shame if he get demoted back to running backs. All this good work he done did with quarterbacks.
I think he gonna be an offensive coordinator somewhere else.
Oh, you just hoping. All right. You just hoping. All right. Tampa Bay's a Caleb Williams team. Jets, Drake May. There's Drake May and there's JJ McCarthy, and that's who they gonna be able to go after. And then maybe like Jaden Daniels is not like a huge personality or anything like that. Like he's a pretty normal kid. If they can, developmental guy. You know what I mean? Like they can go with like him. Just so y'all don't think I'm just making this about one thing. This ain't. The Chargers, they don't have a reason to go after quarterback. It ain't been their problem. It ain't never been their problem. And their problem ain't never gonna be solved because they have some of the best players of our generation on both sides of the football. They still stink.
They've got real Hall of Famers.
Khalil Mack had 6 sacks earlier this year. Like he's still good. Like
they've had multiple first ballot Hall of Famers and just can't get it right.
You know what the Chargers have? A bunch of guys who are about to have resurgences on the Ravens, right? Because nobody resurgent. Khalil back on the Ravens next year gonna be nasty, Cove. It's gonna be nasty.
Gonna be nasty too.
Like I watched the Chargers and I'm like, wow, this is a lot of guys that the Ravens are going to get on a discount. Like, old dudes who need another stop. Yes, that Khalil Mack stop in Baltimore is about to go crazy. And then what about the Saints? They have some wide receivers.
The Saints it will be a good fit for the Saints to get one of them. I'm pretty sure that's a Drake May team. Fairly positive that's a Drake May team.
Thing about Derek Carr, he get along with anybody. Look,
facts.
Look. You saw Jameis out there rapping Ludacris to Derek Carr. Hey, look, Derek Carr could bring America together because I have seen all demographics show not just love, go out their way to show love to Derek Carr. From the Jameis Winstons of the world to the Amari Coopers of the world to the Devontae Adams.
Devontae Adams left Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay
to come back to his homeboy
with the Raiders.
Hey, look. Hey, Derek Carr showed up to Henry Ruggs' court date, and he showed up for the other dude that they got from Ohio State. It's court date. Derek Carr gonna be a great college football coach one of these days.
Hey, he gonna be the greatest. He gonna be the greatest.
You talk about dudes who can rebuild someplace like a Youngstown State. Hey, look, Derek Carr gonna do it, dog. Derek Carr gonna rebuild Fresno State into a powerhouse because he going into South Fresno. Like he is not playing no games.
Hey, you know what? You just inspired me. Ohio State.
Derek Carr right now.
Derek Carr retired. You make that call.
Hey, bet you be more kids from Glenville on the roster. I bet you. I bet you. I bet you. Derek Carr has demonstrated to me that he is all right.
Hey, that senior night. That senior night when they talk about coach, they gonna be like, "Let me tell you something."
Look, Derek Carr can have a dude from East Cleveland and a dude from Pickerington, Ohio, both crying. All right. He can recruit both offensive line and wide receiver. He got it all, dog. Like, I'm telling you, he run the Bible study for both teams. Like, all of that. That man got it. I don't know what he be doing, but I have heard every demographic of NFL player you can find from any background say Derek Carr is the best homie ever. Okay? Don't know what he be doing, but that man is the homie of homies. Like, show Derek Carr his respect. Let me tell you. Hey, look, you put Caleb Williams in there, Caleb Williams gonna be like, you know what, man, I needed to sit a year. Like, could you now that would be a great quarterback room for a reality. Could you imagine Caleb Williams, Jameis Winston,
and
Derek Carr?
Oh man, that's Hard Knocks right there. That's hard.
Yes.
That's Hard Knocks history. That is Hard Knocks history.
Hey, the Jameis Winston rant on Caleb Williams. Like, Caleb Williams gonna be feeling himself too much, and then you know how Jameis already like an 80-year-old. He gonna pull up on Caleb Williams. Oh, you think you're hot shit now, huh? Because you're the number 1 overall pick. Let me say, Jameis was the number 1 overall pick. Yep. Guess what? I'm sitting here. You could be me. Hey, watch your mouth. Like, Jameis Winston is such an old man.
You could be me is crazy.
Hey, tell me he wouldn't say that.
He 100% gonna say that. He 100% gonna say that. First day.
He gonna have a wild analogy like, oh, you think you hotter than grits? Like, you think you hotter than ketchup out the packet, don't you, huh? Let me tell you something. You know who's number 1 overall pick? Me. I love Jameis is so Alabama. Like, he from Bessemer, Alabama. Yes, he is. Like, that is the most Bama man you've ever met in your life. Think he went to Tallahassee to play football. Like, that man is country. Okay, like, country. He not from the South. He country, dog. Country. Rapping Ludacris that hard. Okay?
Every word, every bar.
Every word. And then, you know, look. There's levels to this. There's knowing every word, and there's having like acting beats to the rap lyrics. Because you saw him, he walked away, stepped back, came back to Derek Carr, was like, yeah, I got more for you. Like, he had a routine. He done this too many times. Okay? Derek Carr wasn't even amused. He's like, oh, Jameis. Like, Jameis just being Jameis. You gotta cherish the moments like this. You gotta cherish the moments like this with the fellas.
You know he said, man, I love that guy.
He's like, hey, man. He probably gave him a hug. I love you, brother. Like, Derek Carr is a homie. He's a homeboys, man. Like,
shout out Derek Carr, man.
I don't know what that man do, but everybody gives him a rave review, and I believe it because you just see him. He's like, yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. Had that brother reminiscing for Fresno. And Devontae Adams out here. I guess Green Bay would do it to you, to be fair. Like,
bro.
Like, man, I miss Fresno. like had that brother going to Mountain West games crying. Like, oh, shout out Derek Carr. I know this section had nothing to do with Derek Carr and Aaron Rodgers. What?
Oh man.
All right, last subject of the day. We're gonna make sure this goes a smooth 12 minutes. We're gonna talk about why do people love to put head coaches on the hot seat. Cole, what do you think? Because if we can say it's the Browns because we're Browns fans, we hear this most with Browns fans, but literally it's every fan base wants to fire the coach.
I think
I've heard Steelers fans last week talk about they need to fire Mike Tomlin.
Stupid.
Like, Raven fans always go back and forth with whether they want to fire John Harbaugh. It seems like fans love to fire the coaches. Why do you think that's the case?
I mean, the reason is because it's the easiest person to blame. It's always the easiest person to blame. And we've gotten to this point in sports discourse where you always blame the coaches, whether that be the head coach or even the coordinators, assistant coaches, whatever. People are always more willing to blame them than blame the players. Because blaming the coach is easy. It's always easy to say, oh, the head coach needs to do this. Da, 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 da. He's not. He's just not. He doesn't have a grasp of what he needs. What you're really trying to say is the players aren't good enough. Because 90% of the time, that's what the issue is. Every once in a while, like Brandon Staley with the Chargers, we know he's not good. We know he's part of the problem. Joe Woods in Cleveland, we all understood. After a while, we shot him some bail because we were focused on Baker.
But even with Joe Woods, there were people that they felt like they needed to get rid of to fix that locker room.
Exactly.
Now, should I say their names or not? You know who wasn't here, who's not here anymore, who was here last year. Some of those things aren't a mistake, right? Like, there's a reason certain people aren't on this team anymore. They made those moves. But Joe Woods was bad, yes. But Joe Woods had a good defense in 2021. So, like, you could still have a good defense if you had the right people in place. And I think the locker room part of it's kind of important, right? You got to make sure guys like each other, guys like coming to work. It's very important. It's the most underrated thing because it's not complicated. You don't feel like a genius for figuring out putting together a good work environment, right? It's not very rewarding. What's rewarding is I figured out how to put this scheme here and put this guy here, and it just completely messed up their offense. And like, you want to feel like you're the football Rain Man with the coach, right? But oftentimes the job is not to do that. The job is to do the very simple shit, which is make sure everybody like each other, put people in positions to win. You're not a genius if you figure it out, but you know what you are? A good coach. Right? Like, that's what you got to figure out. And that's all that coaching is. But since people, that's not comforting to people. They're not like the coach not being Rain Man and having all of the solutions. Like, people feel like the coach can just fix everything. And if everything is not fixed, it is then the coach's fault. But we talked about this with Bryce Young. It don't matter who they hire. That kid ain't going to be fixed. He's not good.
Kenny Pickett, another guy. They're not going to be able to fix that. They're not going to be able to fix that.
He's ultimately going to have the same limitations he had with Matt Canada. He might be a better version of that, but he's still going to be Kenny Pickett. He's not going to turn into somebody new. Like, it's the players that ultimately matter. You can aid their development and help them get the most out of themselves. Like, would Pat Mahomes be one of the greatest quarterbacks we've ever seen if he's not with the Kansas City Chiefs? I don't know. He'd still be good, though, right? Like, he just might not be he might be Justin Herbert instead of Pat Mahomes. Hell, Justin Herbert might be that if he got drafted to Kansas City. But you know what's not happening? I don't want to use that name because that name's been picked on enough. But you know what's not happening? Carson Wentz is becoming Pat Mahomes because because he got drafted into the right spot. He did get drafted to the right spot, by the way. But like, sometimes, like, at the end of the day, talent matters. Trey Lance, drafted by one of the best situations you can get to, useless for that team. Completely got outused by Brock Purdy. Why? He ain't have it. Brock Purdy did. I also think we have this inability. Well, we have this thirst because there's so much out there that we need a detailed analysis for everything that ever happens on the football field. Like, there needs to be a specific reason and a backstory to everything. Sometimes shit just go wrong. And it ain't really nobody's fault. It's just, hey, man, shit happened. And don't nobody want to hear. I remember I got flamed on the Bleacher Report stream at their game because the Browns lost to the Ravens. And I was like, I'm going to be real with you. There's no deep analysis. It's just a loss. just a loss. They need to reevaluate everything. Get this guy out of here. Like all kind of like crazy comments got sent my way on that stream. I was like, it's just a loss. I think they'll play better next week. Is what it is. And as much as that analysis doesn't seem groundbreaking, it's right more than it's wrong. Right? Like how something looks one week does not dictate how it will look the next.
It is what it is. Like it just is what it is, man. It is.
You can get beat down by like 28, come back, beat somebody else down by 28. Is what it is.
Look, Denver Broncos. They gave up 70 points in an NFL game. Mm-hmm. They are currently on a 5-game win streak.
Against good teams.
Against great teams. To be completely
I think they've beaten all those teams have winning records, or at least 500. They beat the Bills. They beat the Browns. They beat who else they beat?
The Chiefs.
The Chiefs. Oh my God, the Chiefs. Right? The Vikings have a winning record. They beat all of those teams. But people are like, well, they gave up 70 points earlier. They're not that team. They're clearly not that team anymore.
Imagine if they fired their coach after they gave up 70 points a game.
Well, they couldn't. But yeah,
I'm just saying. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's crazy. Sometimes shit happens.
Sometimes stuff don't break your way. It happens. But everybody wants to blame everything. You can't cut a player because they play bad. But people still be wanting to like get guys benched because they play bad. Like everybody's done it. Like I ain't gonna lie. I want a Pierre Strong cut after that end of round. Just like I was like, who dropped that? I want 20 off the field. Okay.
But he's also the fourth running back. You see what I'm saying?
Which is why I'm like, maybe shouldn't have been in that position. Right? Like maybe you should have been in that position to do such a thing. Like I don't know why he was in the game at that point. But hey man, shit happens. But yeah, it happens. And we are not equipped to just say, shit happens. It's all right. Let's move on. And I don't think this is the case with fans in general. Like I think the majority of people who listen to this podcast, because they're not in the comment section, the most of the people who listen, they're not in the comment section. They're not even hitting the like button. Like they just listen. They go, I like this. And they wait for the next one. And then they listen, right? Like most of us do with YouTube stuff. Those people, they're not who we're talking about. It's more or less people who react to stuff online. It's very a reactionary environment. And it's like people want the perfect example. The Browns have won 4 of their last 5 games?
Yeah.
Or something like that. And people want Kevin Stefanski fired. Like not jokingly.
2 of those games are division opponents.
You beat the 1 seed on the road with half a quarterback. And people want that coach fired.
You want him fired. Like and listen, we didn't intend to talk about the Browns with this subject, but let's just talk about it real quick because it's ridiculous. It gets more ridiculous every week. Did I think Kevin had a good game yesterday? No. I think that was probably his worst coaching performance of the season on Sunday. If I had to just guess, it's probably his
homeboy had a bad game.
He had a bad game.
Homeboy had a QBR of 12. Like it was a bad game. Like it was what it was. Like
it was looking good with DTR in the third quarter. It was looking good, and the DTR went out, and he just completely meltdown.
I think Kevin had enough. I think honestly the team had enough at that point. Like they were like, you know what, dog?
We ain't got it.
We ain't got it today, man. Like y'all got us. That's enough. That's enough. All right. That is enough.
We're just trying to get out of here. Nobody else get hurt.
Hey, man. Martin Luther King had to cut somebody out, dog. Like, it just is what it is. You can only put so much on you. You know what I mean? You can only be so patient with the circumstances, but for so long. Like, I promise you, Martin closed that door and was like, let me tell you something.
But even with that performance, and as bad as it was, I don't want him to get fired. I want him to get extended. I want him to be here for a long time.
It's crazy that we have to entertain this because it's like, if anybody has a bad game, like David Njoku's had 2 bad games, we're not talking about firing David Njoku. We're not talking about starting Harrison Bryant over him. We'll be like, hey, man, David Njoku needs to get it together. Like, get it together, catch the ball, figure it out. Get some reps in. Just we understand that. But boy, let a coach have 2 bad games. Oh, and let me be real. They didn't lose because Kevin Stefanski in that game. They lost because DTR got hurt. Like, that's why they lost that game. DTR got hurt, and look, once DTR got hurt, they don't even got to think about you throwing that ball. Right? Like, now they know you running it. That's why they're able to sit on an end around in the most ridiculous way that they sat on that end around on that play, because they do. Ain't no way PJ throwing this shit. Like, it is what it is. But it seems like people just love to throw coaches under the bus. Like, I know it feels like it's Cleveland, and it's funny when you look at Cleveland's history. We fired Paul Brown, one of the greatest coaches in NFL history. We fired Bill Belichick, one of the greatest coaches in NFL history. By context, we've also fired Nick Saban. Yes, we did that one. Had Kyle Shanahan on staff, couldn't keep him.
He literally quit.
Because we tried to force him Johnny Manziel. And by virtue of that, we also lost Mike McDaniel. Mm-hmm. Look, man, the opportunities have been there to be a decent franchise. We have fallen into the trap of firing coaches. And I'm saying this, if you're a fan of any other team, it ain't ever worth it to fire your coach all willy-nilly. That's how you end up in hell. That's how you end up with no players developing. That's how you end up with no draft picks developing. That's how you end up with like one good player on your team, because that's the only guy who can overcome it. If your coach has demonstrated that they are competent, keep them. The threshold is not that high. And Colb, I don't know about you. I hear this term Super Bowl winning coach, and I'm like, what are you idiots talking about? Super Bowl winning coach. That's not a thing in my opinion. Now, maybe I'm being harsh in that opinion, but like, there's something called a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Yes. You throw Peyton Manning with anybody, he winning the fucking Super Bowl, dog. Like, what are you talking about? Who was even the head coach when Peyton won the Super Bowl?
Who's the head coach? Who's the head coach of the Jaguars right now?
Doug Phillips? Not Doug Phillips. No, whatever. Doug.
I gotta look it up. Hold on.
We're a terrible podcast. We gotta get it together, y'all.
Hey, if we're not talking about the Browns, don't expect too much.
Doug Peterson.
Doug Peterson won a Super Bowl with the Philadelphia Eagles, and they let him go. Only Super Bowl in their history. Let him go.
Low-key, Eagles gotten fortunate because they've made some bad decisions over the year. They got rid of Doug Peterson. They got rid of Andy Reid. They've gotten fortunate because they fell into some good situations. But firing your coach, it's usually not going to work out. You think Eagles fans don't look at the Kansas City Chiefs whipping their ass every time they play and be like, damn, man, I wish we kept Andy. Andy Reid had a couple bad games when he didn't have a quarterback in 2013, so we fired him. Like, literally, this is what we fired. They fired Andy Reid because he had a couple bad games in 2013 when Mike Vick was done playing, and who knows who was playing? Was it Nick Foles at quarterback? I don't know. It didn't matter. Like, to bring in Chip Kelly because he's a genius. He gonna figure this out. You don't need a fucking genius, okay? Football is complicated, sure, but it does not require genius, okay? It is not being a doctor. It is not being a rocket scientist. It is not being an IT specialist, dog. It does not require genius, okay? It requires people skills and management skills. You don't need a brain surgeon for that. Everybody want a brain surgeon to be their coach. And when I say a brain surgeon, I mean, they want somebody who got all that technical ability. That dude ain't going to be no... Hugh Jackson, one of the smartest football minds in the NFL. Well, was. Can't coach it. Can't be a head coach worth a damn. Almost got Andy Dalton an MVP. Couldn't coach a game to 4 victories. Couldn't coach a team to 4 victories that had Myles Garrett on it. We be believing this myth that they got to be geniuses, that you have to have the most technically special coach ever. Kyle Kyle Shanahan's not even doing that much complicated shit, dog. He just doing what his daddy did with some sauce on it. That's it. It's not that complicated. Like, we swear we want this thing to feel so complicated. It's really not. It's really not. You want to do what Shane Steichen doing? You got a video camera, just steal it. Like, ain't no copyright on play calls. Just steal the shit. Like, it does not require this innovative level of genius to get to a Super Bowl, let alone to win it. Nobody thinks Zach Taylor's a genius. Got to a Super Bowl. All right. Who was the coach when Peyton Manning won that Super Bowl in 2015?
I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro. I don't even remember.
I believe it was John Fox.
I have no idea. You know what I do remember? I remember that defense. That's what I remember.
Mm-hmm. And guess what? I'm going to burst the bubble here. Didn't take a genius to get that defense going to where it's gone. Just took somebody who was like, oh, that's Von Miller? Yeah, let me use him right. There's already a template on how to use Von Miller. Like the Browns defense. Jim Schwartz ain't no genius. Jim Schwartz is smart enough to put people in the spot where they need to. And sometimes I honestly think that's Kevin's problem, is that he feels like he needs to be a genius. He don't. We don't need you to be a genius. You're smart enough. Just do the regular shit. Jerome Ford gets 7.5 yards per carry. Just run him. Like, it ain't that complicated. You ain't got to outthink nobody. Like, once football learns we don't have to outthink everybody, it's not that complicated of a game. You might see much more competent coaching across the board. But the problem is everybody buys into this myth that a coach must be the guy who outthinks everybody because it's their way of feeling important. It's the fans' way of making that position feel important. I'm telling you right now, it does not take a genius. College football done figured this out. Why do you think dudes can walk around? Like, you think Jim Harbaugh's a good coach? No, he's not. Like, you know what Jim Harbaugh is? Good enough to let his assistants do the work. That's why he's left and nothing's changed with Michigan.
Oh, man.
It ain't that difficult. You don't need to be a genius. You think Jim Tressel was out there studying the newest offensive shit going on? Nah, he was out here studying recruits. How do I get the fastest player? It don't matter what these plays are if I ain't got Trent Gitt and Troy Smith running it. Like, that's what he wanted. Am I wrong? Like,
no, you're not. You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. It's just
we
funny.
be hyping up these coaches and making them geniuses. It's like, of course Mike McDaniel looks good. He has Tyreek Hill. Like,
and Jalen Waddle.
And Jalen Waddle. And yeah, it turns out when you get a bunch of dudes people can't keep up with, you can get them open. Ain't like he out here with Andrew Hawkins and Taylor Gabriel cooking something up. Like, that's not, like, no disrespect to Andrew Hawkins, Taylor Gabriel. But, like, yeah, you cook up something with them, dog. Okay, you might know something. Ain't doing nothing special. It's the dudes on the right. Like, you see these stats pop up, right? Bill Belichick against a rookie quarterback, or Bill Belichick against a backup quarterback. He's so good against backup and rookie quarterbacks, or Mike Tomlin versus a backup or rookie quarterback. Cole, you hear that stat, you like, damn, that's impressive for that coach, right? You're like, that's pretty impressive. You know what you're not?
I was like, that's pretty good.
You know what you're not thinking about?
What's that?
Why do you think they have such good records against teams going with their backup quarterback against them? What do those two teams have in common?
Stability.
At what
Same
position?
guy doing it. Quarterback. Well, no. Well,
yes.
For the most part. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not
yeah,
now,
I think it's
but
no mistake.
Prior.
Well, here's the funny thing. You look at it now, they're not as good against rookie quarterbacks anymore. They're not as good against backup quarterbacks anymore. The splits change. I wonder what it had more to do with Mike Tomlin's genius or the fact that Mike Tomlin had a better fucking quarterback than every backup that you could play against. That's what I'm saying. A stat like that seems like an obvious coaching stat, but then you actually think about it for more than 10 seconds and you're like, that's not even remotely close to a coaching stat. That's a quarterback stat. Yes, if you're playing against a backup quarterback or a rookie quarterback and you have Tom Brady or Ben Roethlisberger, you're probably winning that game. Like, of course.
Oh.
It's not about the defense. Like, there's so many coaching stats out there that are just like that. Like when you actually look at it, you're like, why are we trying to make this about the genius of the coach? Like, their job's important. It's important the job the coaches do. But it's important that we understand what they actually should be doing and what they aren't supposed to be doing. They're not going to fix everything, dog. They are there to hold the office down. That's their job. Get some shit. Get everybody there on time on game day. Make sure these plays get out. Make sure guys get in and out. Make sure it's a smooth operation so your coordinators and your head coach can do all the job. Or if you're the coordinator too, you can do a good job there. Just you're a facilitator. You're not the creator. Right? Like, you are the facilitator. You are not the system. You just facilitate the system so the dudes who are good at football can run the system. And as long as you understand that, you're going to be good. But we want the coach to be the superstar, man. We want so badly for the man in khakis to be the reason why the 300-pound athletes running 4.3 are out here winning football games. Come on. We just got to reevaluate how we look at coaches because it's just so ridiculous. Gary Kubiak was the head coach of the Denver Broncos when they won the Super Bowl, by the way.
Never would have been able to tell you that if you ain't looking up.
Brian Billick, another guy who won the Super Bowl, don't nobody care about. He couldn't even get a job after he left Baltimore. Had to go to the booth and then got fired. Like, ain't that difficult? You don't need a Super Bowl winning coach. That's so dumb. It's never been demonstrated. What is Bill Belichick doing right now? He's 2-9 because his team is ass. His team is ass now.
And it's his fault because he's the GM.
Yes. He facilitated this assness. This is what's going on with them. Why do people I just cannot get for the life of me to understand why people choose to believe this myth when it comes to coaches, because it's been proven wrong time after time. Good coaches have bad records all the time. Good coaches get fired all the time. Bad coaches can have good records. Mike McCarthy, terrible coach, still got a job. Ain't changed a thing when it comes to the playoffs. Ain't changed a thing he won a Super Bowl once. What do you think that had more to do with? Prime Aaron Rodgers? Or Mike McCarthy?
Man, who
you drafting first? Who you drafting first? Like, are you ever drafting a coach first before you're drafting a player? No. So why do we act like if you don't have the right coach, it doesn't matter who you have as players? No, if you don't got the right players, it definitely don't matter who your coach is. Like,
oh man,
it's backwards. It's so backwards, dog. I'm like, why do we talk about the coach after every game? He's not that important. Like, he's not that. Again, back to the Browns example. What cost the Browns that game? A bad play call, or the fact that he resorted to that bad play call because DTR got taken out the game?
It's because DTR got knocked out the game. And who were people complaining about before that happened? Who were people complaining about? The entire game before DTR got knocked out, who were they complaining about? They complained about the players dropping the football because DTR was actually hitting them and they weren't catching it. Or they were complaining about Greg Newsome giving up plays.
When they should have been complaining about that defensive line.
You see what I'm saying? You know what you're supposed to be blaming. Most of the time, it's the players, not the coach. Because I'm sure Kevin Stefanski is not coaching Greg Newsome to leave guys wide open, get a DPI. That was questionable, but it is what it is. Or to tell the defensive line, don't get no pressure on Russell Wilson.
Yeah, I'm sure that wasn't in the game plan for Jim Schwartz.
I'm sure that's not what they were telling him. I'm sure, I'm positive. I'm 100% sure that's not what they were telling him.
And that's not to say the coaches aren't blameless, but like being mad at the coach after your team loses is like yelling at the manager of a Walmart because you don't like a Walmart corporate policy. Ain't nothing that man about to do to fix that problem. Like the thing, he can help you with the shit right now. Like you want a price lowered? Yeah, that manager might be able to help you with that. You want to return something? That manager might be able to help you with that. But if you want to know why the shopping carts ain't blue, he ain't got no say in that decision. That's not him. That's above him, right? Like a lot of this stuff with coaches in general, people just want to blame everything on them. And it's like there's such a complicated blame pie of like, was it scheming? Is it what the players are asked to do in the scheme? Is it what the players aren't doing in the scheme? Is it what the coaches are asking them to do in the scheme? It's so much that people just boil it down to coaching. But I'm like, man, people give coaching this reverence that it just does not deserve. And it's like, hey, man, as long as your coach not an idiot, if you got good enough players, you get by. You ever watch Last Chance U?
Of course.
That man won a national championship at JUCO. John Brown. Let me tell you, big idiot. Big idiot, dog. Like one of the biggest idiots I've ever seen get a documentary made about him. Not a good coach. Doesn't even know what he's talking about half the time. Just be saying shit. 1-1. Why? Because he got the best JUCO talent in the world. Come to Independence, Kansas. And then he got on Netflix and that helped him out even more. Ended up being pretty good.
There you go.
There you go. Not saying that the coaches are worthless, but hey, man, coaching can be overcame. It's like a bad run game, brother. We can live with it.
Hey, perfect example. Perfect non-football example. Who was the head coach of the Cavs in 2015 when they made the finals?
Oh, it was what not Blaine Gabbert, David Blaine or whatever the fuck his name was.
David Blatt. David Blatt.
David Blatt. Yeah.
David Blatt made a finals.
Got
Probably
to game 6.
Probably would have won it if everybody.
He would have been an NBA champion.
What they do the very next
Kyrie
year.
doesn't pop his knee.
Literally, they probably win the series if they just have Kyrie. They just have Kyrie. They probably end up winning the series.
You know what? Real talk. Probably a back-to-back champion. Because let me tell you, 3-1 ain't had nothing to do with Ty Lue putting the money in the roof. All right? 3-1 had everything to do with Kyrie or Braun getting 40. Okay? Like, that's what that had to do with.
You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying?
Not to say that Ty Lue isn't important. He plays a role in that room, and he has to do his job, right? And maybe David Blatt wouldn't have pushed the right buttons. But at the end of the day, it's about whose buttons you got to push, not if you pushing the right buttons, right? Hey, Phil Jackson, we talk about he's the Zen master and the button pusher and all this and how he figures out guys and all that. Yeah, that works when you talk about Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, or when you talking about Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal, or Kobe Bryant in general. Yeah, pushing the right buttons matters. Because you pushing Kobe's buttons, right? But if it was Smush Parker, okay, and DeJounte Jop, it don't matter what buttons getting pushed, dog. You losing. Like, you're not winning very many games.
Oh, man.
Players make the bigger leap, right? Coaches might be able to help you around the edges. You know, maybe you win an extra game because of a coach, or maybe you edge out something right here. Maybe you get a little bit more out of a bench player or a role player or even a starter, right? Like maybe you get like that. Like it's small stuff around the edges. But that's really replicable. What's not replicable is 35 points a night, right? Like that, you're not finding that. Like,
35 points.
Yeah, this prime Shaq, right? Like, Kobe going on a 40-point streak, right? When Shaq is out. Like, you not replicating that, okay? When your big move that you had to make during the championship run is to tell Kobe not to score 40 points, okay, maybe it's about whose buttons you pushing, dog, because that's not a problem every locker room has. I promise you, JB Bickerstaff is not walking into that room like, hey, man, Dean, you got to score less. Like, that's not. It's about who you got, man. It's about who you got. Like the coaches matter. I don't want to say that they don't. They matter, but it's a role. They are role players in this thing. The same way you're not about to blame a loss on Anthony Walker, it's the same way the coach is not really that important to win it or lose it. He's a role player. Like, he can make a difference here and there. Maybe it's a play call. Maybe if he goes for it, doesn't go for it. Like, those are the big decisions. You know, other than that, dog, like, if them players not having a good day, nothing that coach gonna say in that locker room. Like, it's gonna fix that. Either it fixes itself or it don't. And that don't make nobody feel comfortable. Like, I have grown a certain comfort with the unexpectedness of reality due to circumstances that have happened in my life. I understand not everybody there. But it's gonna happen or it don't, dog. It ain't nothing you gonna say. Ain't no Disney Channel speech you gonna say it's gonna change that. Like, you can try, it's gonna make you feel better. It ain't gonna change nothing. Like, either it was meant to be or it's not. And that game was not meant to be. But I appreciate y'all for sticking with us. Colb, interesting podcast. How do you feel about this one?
Man, honestly, dog, I think we did. We think we did what we were supposed to do. Hopefully, this one's not 4 hours. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we a little under 3. We a little under 3.
We a little under 3.
And we're going to keep the shout outs under control. So, we don't get this to 4 hours. So shout out to all the homies out there. Shout out where you're listening to this podcast or where your preferred place is to listen to this podcast down below. Shout out Hair Rap Colb up in the building today. You know what I mean? Show it out. Is that a do-rag or is that a bonnet? A man bonnet? No, is that what they call it? It's a compression cap, dog. It's a compression cap. Okay,
it's just a compression cap. You know what I'm saying? It's like a little crazy.
To put a helmet on. At least you about to put a helmet on, play ball. Like,
you know what I'm saying? It's looking a little crazy. Just a little crazy. I want to look like that on camera. You know what I'm saying? Mama might be watching something.
Yeah, true enough. By the way, LL Cool J, man, I was watching this. You ever watch a sitcom in the house?
Mm-hmm.
Ridiculous the lengths that man goes to not let people know he's bald. Ridiculous. Man out here wearing a tuxedo with the wave cap.
Ridiculous.
My mama would slap me in the face.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
I saw that.
Who else we got to shout out? Who else we got to shout out real quick? Let's got a shout out.
Shout out to all my bald brothers out there, man. I feel like we got a higher percentage than normal of those with no hair follicles up top that listen to us. Shout out to y'all, man. You know what I mean? I can't wait to go bald. Like, I'm gonna save so much money once I go bald, Colb. So much money. But I can only. I'm gonna say all that. Yeah, because you got the braids in. You like your hair long. I got a beard that goes around my face. I could be bald at any time, dog.
Yeah,
like, I got that bald face. Like, I'm like, hey, I'll just be fine doing bald. I might get one of them veins on the side of my head too. You know what I mean? Like, if I start working out, you get one of them veins on the side. You look like one of them cool bald dudes. I can't wait. Can't wait.
Be read about Roquan Smith with the.
Oh yeah. Forehead back. Everything, dog. I'm telling you right now, before I turn 35, I'm going bald. I'm not about to wait until baldness forces me to come into it. I'm gonna make it a choice, because when you make it a choice, people just think that's how your hair look. Like,
what if you're not gonna go bald though? What if the hairline stay the same, but you just good? Like, you just go bald anyway?
I might. You know what I mean? Like, might not feel like brushing. Do-rag it every day. It's a lot of work, man, to try to keep the waves going. You got to just curl it, spin it. Then you got to put the in it. Then you got to wave it. Then you got to double compress it, put it back out. Then if it grows, you got to really compress it with like 3-4 do-rags. Let me tell you something, man. I'll keep this till if I have a kid and that kid gets to school, I'm going bald. I'm going bald. Like, I'm not dropping my kid off the kindergarten with hair.
Man, rocking the baldy by choice is kind of wild. It's kind of wild rocking the baldy by choice.
Look,
that was a thing back in the 90s, though.
You fear the day that you have to go bald. I don't have to have those fears. My head is big and I got a beard. Like, I'm good, dog. Like, that, I got the combo. I'm straight. I can be bald. Like, I can be bald. I got eyebrows for it, everything. I know I can be bald. I'm gonna be good bald, dog. Like, I might be better. Like,
I might be better.
I might be better once I get that shine going. Like, might be better. Because you know what? I ain't gonna have bad hairline days.
Oh,
yes.
That's true.
It's true. All I gotta do is keep this structure down here. If this ever connect on the sides here, it's a wrap, dog. I might go bald that day. Like,
this is crazy. Hey, shout out all the bald listeners.
Shout out to y'all, man. I can't wait to join. I can't wait for my day.
Hey, shout out Steel Toe Squad.
Steel Toe Squad.
Always and forever.
Yes. Hey, shout out to my Carhartt jacket guys. You know, the guys with them big ass jackets. You know, they smell like cigarettes. It's not because you smoke, but it's because your homeboy smoke during their lunch break. So you got to just kick it with them. Shout out to y'all, man. Everybody wear overalls. Shout out to y'all. You know what I mean? Like the big overalls.
We shout out the overall gang?
Yeah, we shout out overall gang.
I ain't bad at it.
You know what I mean? Shout out to all my Pickering, Ohio gangsters. All my Browns fans that get silent when we ask you what part of Cleveland you from. You know what I mean? Like, shout out to y'all.
Shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all.
I appreciate y'all. You know what I mean? Y'all repping Cleveland. But then somebody asks you, what school you went to?
Hey, real quick. Shout out all the UK fans. Shout out to all the fans that be in the UK. That's not anybody that's not from America. If you're not from America, you listen to us. Shout out to
hey, dog. I'm gonna hold y'all. Y'all getting the experience right here, dog.
Yeah, man.
We talked about it earlier with this is uncut Cleveland right here, dog. This ain't even like the nice Cleveland. Like, we ain't taking you to no Mission Barbecue. This is like Whitmore's right here. Mount Pleasant. Like, you just getting that pure 100%. What's the street number Cleveland like?
Shout out to y'all, man. We love y'all.
I can't imagine if you was in UK listening to us like, dog, it must be different.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
It's gonna be different, right?
A little tiny bit. A little
bit different over there, all right? Shout out to y'all, man.
Oh man.
I'd be shocked. I'm like, yo, you in the UK, you listen to me? I guess it's hot. Like,
hey, it'd be crazy because it'd be like, it's some UK Browns fans on Twitter. It's like, man, you being a Browns fan in the UK so wild because like you really chose, like you really down with this. I respect it. But why did you do this?
Hey man, shout out to y'all.
Shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to y'all. I respect it. 100%.
Y'all ain't gotta take that. Y'all ain't gotta take that from a admitted Laker fan. Y'all ain't gotta do that from. Y'all ain't gotta take that.
Admitted Laker fan. Admitted Laker fan. We big here.
Grew up in the era of the King.
It was still repping the Lakers. Didn't care.
Mm-hmm. Favorite number 8. Did he chase it to 24? Craziness.
5 chips. It was.
I
worth
bet
it.
Cole was talking crazy at the lunch tables in 2007.
Hey, dog. 2009, 2010.
Yeah. Oh yeah, those lunch tables. The lunch tables was just nonstop. Dudes yelling, screaming. This is what prepared Cole for today. You gonna tell me you get the best arguments at the lunch table in high school? Like people be pulling up stats. Like this is before we had smartphones. People just had printouts. Like no, they be getting their notebooks out. Ain't studied a whole day for no test, but he got Kobe 3-point percentage for the last 5 games right here in the notebook, ready to blast out during lunch period. Like,
man, back in the day when you could hit people with how many chips Brown got. Man.
He only been in the league. Jordan didn't have any chips until dog. Those arguments used to be crazy.
I just be like this.
That's crazy. That's who Cole was. That's who Cole was, y'all. That's who Cole was at your lunch table. I'm sure you made plenty of people mad at the lunch tables. bet it's people at a barrio right now pissed.
And my family used to get on me bad about that. Imagine being the only Laker fan.
No, I know what that's
full
like
of Cavs
because one
fans.
of my cousins always used to come over on Thanksgiving. He used to hoop too. He was small and skinny, so he liked Steph Curry. Right? He was small, skinny hooper, like Steph Curry. So he always wear the Steph Curry jersey during Christmas coming in. And man, my family are avid Cavs fans. My father, but my uncle is like a 20-year season ticket holder of the Cavaliers. Yeah, like they sent him a ring when the Cavs won it in 2016. Like, yes, he showed me it. Yes, and that young fella would show up to his house with his Steph Curry shit on. Oh, man.
Just disrespectful. Just disrespectful.
I used to always look at his parents like, what y'all do? What y'all do? What happened here? Like, ain't no way I'm showing up to no Browns game with a Steelers shirt on. Like,
absolutely not.
I was
That's
raised
ridiculous.
right. My father made that clear. We ain't doing that. Michigan? No. Like,
Nope.
I'm not an Ohio State fan. But you know what I'm not rocking? Michigan? Like, get out of here. Like, I couldn't even consider Michigan. Like,
It's just like, you can't even go to school.
nah, he can't even think about it. Can't even think about it. Had to go somewhere with adjacent colors to Ohio State.
Shout out,
Can't even-
hey, shout out all the uncles. Shout out all the uncles.
Yeah, shout out. Yeah, you mean
All the parents.
It's a reason I went to Youngstown instead of Toledo. Toledo's just too close to Michigan. It's like, it's too close to Michigan for me to pay for. You go to Youngstown.
Oh man.
And Toledo didn't get the Browns games. That's also that. Look, you want to know how I was born for this? That's how I made my college decision. I was like, well, Toledo don't got Browns games, but Youngstown do. And I took a visit there to make sure that they did get the Browns games. And they got the Browns games. I was like, yeah, this is where I want to be. Like, I want to be somewhere for 4 years. I can't catch the Browns. My family couldn't afford no Sunday ticket. What's going to do? Not watch them? Crazy. Like, what you think is about to go down? Nah, Youngstown was where I had to go. Didn't want to go to Akron. Like, didn't want to go to Kent. Knew too many people there. Well, I went to Youngstown. I was like, that's the best place for me. Toledo, they get Lions games over there. I'm not fucking with that. Yuck. Like, the recruiter was so confused when I asked that question.
I know they looked at you like you was nuts.
She was talking about all these like things they got to help you out. I use those programs. They helped me. Like, it was a great place at that time. Like, I don't know what Youngstown's doing now, but I was like, y'all get Browns games? Everybody laughed and looked at me. I was dead and serious, dog. I'm not about to play. Like, I gotta live there for 4 years. I'm not about to live nowhere I can't catch the Browns. Fuck out of here. Like,
I definitely would have said something crazy to you if you asked me that.
boy, you trying to get an education. Hey, look what it got me. Like, I stopped watching the Browns for 4 years. I might not be here. See? And this goes back to our beginning of conversation about Baker Mayfield. Look, man, you get here a certain way, you gonna be that way for a little while, dog. Like,
It's crazy.
this ridiculousness about football has gotten me to this point, Cole. I ain't never gonna be chill about football, okay? I'm gonna be watching spring football, college football, 1AA football, one football for the rest of my life, Cole. It ain't changing. I know they ain't changing. You think that's ever changing? I'll watch all of the XFL games. Not just like a team, Cole. All of them. I ain't never not watching football. Like, it is what it is. I done rolled this into a career. Like,
Hey, you did it right, man. You did it right. I ain't gonna cap. You did it right.
I ain't never changing. Okay, like,
Hey, I can't even be mad at you because I've been staying up watching Laker games my entire life, dog. Going to class 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock.
that's what I'm saying.
Day.
Everybody got
Tired.
that thing they can't go without, right? And then for me, it was like, I'm not about to be out here not watching the Browns. In LA, man, I couldn't afford Sunday ticket. I'm on Game Pass. I would just avoid the universe for like 3 hours while the Browns played, which was easy. And I'll just Game Pass the game. Easy. And them teams didn't win a game that year. I was out there going out my way to watch some Browns games. Nah, man. Nah. I was always like this. Okay. I was always
man.
people in it cold. People have the nerve to be like, Quincy's not a real Browns fan. He's just doing this for the clout and money. I'm like, get out of here, dog. I chose where I went to college so I could watch the games on the local CBS station.
Think about this, y'all. Think about this for like 2 seconds. Why else would we root for, watch, and talk about the Cleveland Browns if we wanted clout and money?
If I was in this for clout and money, I would be talking about LeBron James and the Dallas Cowboys every day. Okay.
It's so crazy to me. Like that Reddit post was just like, it's like Colb's just using the Browns to build a brand. I was like, first and foremost, I got these followers when I was only tweeting about the Lakers, like damn near exclusively.
It was that time of the year.
Nobody talks about the Browns to
by the
build a
way,
brand.
shout out to Colb. Shout out to Colb, man, because not only were the Lakers ass, but the Browns were ass in like 2017.
Dog, I've been here. Y'all wasn't around during the Robert Sacre years. Y'all wasn't there.
When you was talking about Kyle Kuzma being a steal, dog. Like they wasn't there when they was talking about him being the foundational piece. Once we get Lonzo Ball right, like they weren't there for that. they weren't there for the Josh Hart could be a starter conversation.
And listen, they wasn't there during the Jeremy Lin years, man. Y'all wasn't there. Y'all was the Carlo Boozer years.
I remember where y'all had Earl Clark out there.
Earl Clark,
dog. Y'all had some crazy lineups from like
Wash
20.
Steve
like,
Nash.
Yes, like at the end of that Kobe era, y'all had the craziest lineups, especially once Kobe retired. Oh my God, it was some terrible lineups.
The Jordan Hill years, the Nick Young years.
Yes, Jordan Hill. I forgot about that. D'Angelo Russell.
Man.
Yeah, y'all was the Wizards for a minute. Y'all was the Wizards.
It was bad. We made it though. Shout out to the Laker fans, baby. If you got any Laker fans, listen, shout out to y'all.
Shout out to the Clippers, man, because look, the Lakers went through all that turmoil and didn't get a single percentage point at the city. Like nobody went, man, I'm about to jump to the Clippers. Not a single part. And the Clippers were great at that time. Nobody jumped to that. Do you know any Laker fans that you're like, he tried to join the Clippers bandwagon during that time? You don't know a single one. Not a single soul. I don't know why the Clippers still in LA. They can't get nobody. They out here trying to do it. We gonna get South Central LA. They don't want you either, dog. Like that's just, it's rough. Move to Seattle. Move to Seattle.
Yeah, move to Seattle.
I don't even know why Laker fans hate the Clippers like this. What they ever do to you? Other than give Shaq historic performances.
Exist.
Okay. Exist? Is it just you don't like they fans? You got a beef with Clifford Darrell?
Listen. They are the Cincinnati Bengals. They are the New York Knicks.
We don't even hate this. We don't even hate the Cincinnati Bengals all like that. As Browns fans, we think they're amusing and hilarious and just like making fun of them, calling our little brother. We don't be mad at the Bengals. Like we be mad at the Ravens and we be mad at the Steelers. Like Steelers winning a game they ain't supposed to win ruins your day, even if the Browns win. The Bengals winning a game has never bothered us. Like we don't care about the Bengals like that. We just like, that's cool. Y'all gonna lose to us though. And then they do, and then we good. I don't know why y'all have this hatred over the Clippers. They've never cost you anything. It's not like they the Spurs. Like the Spurs don't hurt y'all.
Hey, listen to me. Fuck them.
What they ever do to y'all, man?
Fuck them. That's what they did.
The Kings have hurt y'all more than them.
No, they haven't. To be honest with you, I feel bad for Kings because at least the kids could say y'all stole one from us. And they not. That's wrong. What I'm saying. They not wrong.
Like the Clippers are no threat to the Lakers ever. And Laker fans are just so stringent and mad at Clipper fans. It's like, why are you beating this homeless man's ass? You're rich. It don't make any sense. Like, damn, let him get to the shelter.
That is a crazy. That is a crazy. That
It's like seeing that. You know what it's like? It's like seeing Bill Gates whip a homeless man's ass. When you see Laker fans get mad at Clipper fans, it's like, what you mad at them? They just try to get something started. You know, they like the underdog. Like, let them live. You got all the glory, all the fans. You had the arena. Like, they got to take down all your banners to put their division banners up. Like, you know what's up. Why are you making fun of them? You in a mansion. They in a 1-bedroom apartment. Like, it ain't the same, dog. Y'all evil. Like, this is why people think Laker fans are evil. It's like when Yankee fans be mad at the Mets. What the Mets ever do to you?
Now that one I don't get. We need some Yankee fans to talk. Like, what's wrong with the Mets? What did the Mets do? Didn't the Mets win? Didn't they win a World Series at least?
Yeah, the Mets have been more successful than the Clippers. Like, honestly, that's more. The Clippers ain't never done nothing. They haven't even been to a Western Conference Finals. No,
is that true?
Never. Yeah, never. They were up 3-1, then Josh Smith happened.
Oh, yeah. They were up on the Nuggets too. They were up on the Nuggets and blew that one too. Yeah.
So why do y'all act like y'all hate them? Y'all don't even do the thing that Steelers fans and Browns fans do. I want both teams to be good so the rivalry could be back. There was never no fucking rivalry between the Lakers and Clippers.
There's never going to be a rivalry. There's never going to be that.
But you hate them. There. Why do you hate them?
Because fuck them. That's why.
They make it cheaper to get into Staples Center. I don't understand this hatred.
Hey.
I found the Clippers to be very convenient because if there was a team I wanted to see, I'm like, I'm gonna wait for them Clipper dates because them Laker dates expensive, very expensive. Them Clipper tickets you could get in for $15. You know what I mean? You ain't got to worry about no Uber surcharge because there ain't gonna be that many people at the stadium. You get in and out, $80 in LA. Uber there, Uber back, and get you a snack, $80 at a Clipper game. Yeah, you can't even think about getting a ticket at a Lakers game for $80.
Man, you can't think about getting a ticket for a Lakers game for like $250. You shelling out like $3 for sure.
Yeah, Cole, this is an unreasonable hatred that you have of this Clippers franchise. I don't understand it, and now it makes me think that your move to put the Clippers in for the Chargers was malicious.
You don't care.
It was just more Clippers.
Don't get on here pretending like you care because you know I'm right and you also know it's hilarious.
It is. Look, you dislike the Clippers like I dislike Cat. The same way for no reason.
This like a cat is way worse because like, what did this man do to you?
He did nothing. I just don't think he good.
No. When Rudy got choked out, you said it should have been Cat.
Tell me it would have been more hilarious. Tell me we wouldn't still be talking about it.
That was the most wild thing I've ever seen.
I made sure I put it out there so people can ask themselves. Like, I didn't put no laugh emoji or nothing. I was like, I want them to ask themselves if I'm joking right now.
I started cracking up. It's like, dog, I know he did.
That was.
I was like, yo, what is wrong with it?
It should have been Cat. Tell me that wasn't one of. Tell me Rudy Gobert got choked out and one of your first thoughts weren't, where's Cat?
That literally was not my thought at all.
Oh, come on. You weren't thinking where Cat was?
No.
When his homeboy got yoked out?
I was like, what did he do to make Draymond this mad?
Exist. That is what Laker fans being mad at Clipper fans is. It is Draymond Green choking out Rudy Gobert.
Literally no reason whatsoever. Just
no reason to hate him. Just choked him out. Right. That's the Hesse.
Just because I could, and I knew I'd get away with it.
Like, even with my Roquan Smith thing, I got a reason for that. People just don't be believing me when I be saying it. Now, this ain't a good week for the agenda, so I'll leave it alone. But, when it's back on, I'm about to be back on that shit. Now, trust and believe.
You sick for that, because he had a good game. You sick for that.
That's why I left it alone. I'm not about to say he didn't play good. He played good. Finally. Against one of the worst fourth quarter teams in the NFL. I mean, about time. But hey, man, I'm glad he showed up. versus a pretender. Good job, Roquan. Did real good against a backup quarterback too the week before. You know, just, hey man, he out here balling against bad teams. Last time he played a good team, what happened though, dog?
Hey, you see what happened. You see what happened.
You see what happened. Hey man, it wasn't even all of Deshaun Watson. It was part of Deshaun Watson that did that to him. It's crazy to me, dog.
Shout out to everybody who listened to the end. Shout out to everybody who loved the jokes.
Shout out to y'all. Shout out to the Wave Cap gang. Shout out to my bald homies. Shout out to my receipt, and I'm going to hang on to it and just wear a bald cap, homies, even though it's about time. It's about time. Look, I'm going to put together a video one day about exactly what you need to know if you can get away with the bald look. But if you got a clean, nice little oval like this, you can go bald, bruh. Now you got one of these. Ooh, no, you can't go bald with one of these. You know what I mean? Or if you got one of these, like the little pickle head, you can't do that. You need to have a nice, strong oval. You know what I mean? A nice. We'll break it down one of these days on the air for all of y'all, so y'all know. But y'all have a great day. Have a better night. Peace.